It's the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Scarlett Mason from Standish Sterling High School. With a 4.3 GPA, Scarlett's a member of the track and field team and a state champion in swimming. Scarlett, a member of the National Honor Society, and PALS, a student support group.
We get qualified, and then we are someone that if a student is uncomfortable talking to an adult, they can come talk to us about what's going on at home or whatever they're struggling with. The biggest thing was it raised mental health awareness, and I think that's huge in high school.
Scarlett will be attending and swimming at Wayne State in the fall. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters?
Yeah.
100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation, that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Michigan. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that.
And welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show right here on 100.9 The Mitt, live on YouTube, live on Facebook, live up here in the Great Lakes Bay region. We have a jam-packed show, ladies and gentlemen, because first of all, those Tigers can't beat those A's. It's kind of a frustrating thing to stay up until like 1 in the morning just for them to lose those games, but we do have good news. Riley Green kind of knocking on that superstar club door once again. Absolutely mashes a 471-foot home run yesterday. Longest of his career. Longest of the Tigers StatCast era dating back to 2015. Oh, yeah, and it happened to be a grand slam. Tigers still lose that game. We'll get to the Tigers in the 10 o'clock hour, but, man, we got to start with the Detroit Lions today, Kyle. And, by the way, just squeaking this in here right away, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, 10:30, give or take, we're going to be giving away tickets to the Michigan State game this Friday against Western for their opener. So if you want to head down to Spartan Stadium or up to Spartan Stadium or sideways to Spartan Stadium, wherever you're listening, we're giving away tickets for that in the 10 o'clock hour. So stay tuned for that. But we have to start with this Detroit Lions team because we wake up this morning and find out Tim Patrick no longer on this team. Isaac TeSlaa, inserted right into the wide receiver 3 role. If you want to make the argument it's Khalif Raymond, I'd tell you you're out of your mind. Look, was I surprised by this news that Tim Patrick was traded for a 6th-round pick? A little bit. Was I shocked, though? No, not at all. Tim Patrick's a receiver that in his career has dealt with a ton of injuries, one of the more injury-prone receivers in the entire NFL, on the wrong side of 30, openly struggled in training camp, and then towards the end was dealing with another injury that had held him out for the past couple of weeks. And with the emergence of Isaac TeSlaa being one of these guys that is not only in preseason but training camp as well, stuck out as someone who joins as a rookie, and it's like, yo, this guy was severely undervalued in the draft, the same way we thought about Brian Branch the first couple days of his training camp, his rookie season. Sam Laporta, exact same situation. He shows up, and it's instantly like, we got to get this guy involved. We raise our expectations, he meets them again. We raise our expectations again, he meets those expectations again. He dominated preseason and training camp in a way where the Lions saw an opportunity to trade Tim Patrick. And look, I don't know if it was a blindside or if they basically told Tim Patrick, hey, Isaac TeSlaa here in camp has earned this wide receiver 3 spot. You're going to be the wide receiver 4. Does that mean like they mutually agreed, like, I think it'd be best for you to be traded, or he requested a trade? I don't know. Odds are we never find any of that out because the Lions like to keep all that behind closed doors. But the bottom line is Tim Patrick's heading to Jacksonville, and the Lions are getting a 6th-round pick in return. And the bigger news here is Isaac TeSlaa is being inserted into the starting lineup upon week 1. We've been talking about for weeks whether or not we think that this guy can contribute week 1. We have been buying stock all offseason on Isaac TeSlaa. Well, that stock is paying off already, Kyle, and the season hasn't even started. I see this trade go down this morning, and I not walk, not run, I sprint to my phone to open up generic sportsbook. Someone pay us to say your sportsbook, and maybe we'll give you a shout out. And I bet on Isaac TeSlaa to score a touchdown week 1 against the Packers.
Just degenerate behavior right there.
I know.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Making bets before 7 a.m.
Our stock, that's got to be the best buy that we've each bought Teslaa stock at least twice a piece, I think, over the last couple months.
Yep.
Like, we both did it early, and then I think after it started to heat up a little bit, we bought some more. So it's got to be the best payoff of stock we've had so far about the Teslaa thing. Yeah, I think this is interesting on the Tim Patrick trade just because it's not like they did this pre-roster cuts or they did this to open up a spot to save a guy like Jackson Meeks on the team. They did this afterwards when they already have – they still have open roster spots available. So I'm not saying like I'm confused by this. I'm just it's interesting to see when this went down. You think if they were going to trade Tim Patrick, it would have been prior to yesterday's deadline, correct? Wouldn't you assume that's what would have happened?
Yes, but I think you're actually allowed to be confused here because the Lions have 50 guys on the roster right now.
Right.
And that's after they signed a guy from Jacksonville this morning who's like a special teams ace, a little bit of depth.
Daniel Thomas.
Yeah, depth piece in the secondary, but mostly here just to contribute to special teams. They added that guy, and they're still at 50 people. You had to get down to 53 yesterday, and they were like, nah, let's just trim it all the way down to 50. You assume one of those spots is for Za'Darius Smith or another edge rusher because there's only 3 on the roster right now. But no, trading him away, regardless of the timing, is just kind of strange that they have that many spots on the roster open. Like, it really makes you wonder, why did they cut Jackson Meeks? I don't know if he's going to clear waivers. He had an awesome camp too. I mean, nothing like TeSlaa, but yeah, there's 5 wide receivers on the team right now, which is kind of atypical for a Brad Holmes Lions roster.
Atypical, honestly, just in general, right? I mean, most teams carry 6. Some teams will even be a little bit wild and go up to 7 wide receivers. So, yeah, I'm very interested to see what continues to happen with the Lions here. But as far as this move, sending Patrick to the Jags, I think this is a W for Lions fans because it shows that all the promise that we saw from Isaac TeSlaa in preseason is actually being paid off for him. And they clearly are buying into him very early, which even you and I had discussed on the last couple shows this week. Like, even though TeSlaa has clearly been the darling of training camp and preseason, we don't know how early he's going to get inserted into the lineup.
Week 1, baby. Week 1.
Week 1, right away. No competition there for who's going to take his spot. So that makes me very excited.
I'll be curious to see how they balance like that true wide receiver 3 spot, whether it's Khalif Raymond or they go on and go big with Isaac TeSlaa, because obviously those are two very different types of receivers. And against this Packers team, I mean, maybe you know how A.J. Hinch and Scott Harris are kind of attacking the bullpen on a series-to-series basis based on, you know, do we need lefties, do we need righties? Maybe this is a game-to-game thing where it's like, all right, against this team, we want to go bigger and have TeSlaa take more snaps, and against this team, we want to get smaller and faster and have Khalif Raymond be that true wide receiver 3. Now, him and Amon-Ra have like somewhat of a redundant skill set. It's not really the same, but two smaller-ish receivers, although I think St. Brown gets thrown around in this like slot receiver and people kind of think he's a small guy. He's not. Like pound for pound, you could argue St. Brown's one of the strongest players in the NFL, just dense body dude like that. But yeah, this is ultimately good news. Like, I know everyone really fell in love with Tim Patrick last year as this like wide receiver 3, totally reliable person. He did have 0 drops last season, but I did pull a couple. You want to hear some preseason stats?
Oh, man.
From Isaac TeSlaa?
I'm dying to hear these.
Good. I know it's preseason, but it's all we have to work with, so bear with me. 2024 Tim Patrick regular season was 1 for 3 on contested catches opportunities. Or 1 for 3 on contested catch opportunities. Only 3 times Jared Goff threw him a ball that was contested. He only had 3 chances and came down with 1 catch. 141 yards of yards after the catch. Really good run blocker, to be fair. Isaac TeSlaa, in 3 games of preseason, was 4 for 5 on contested catches. 4 for 5. Had more opportunities and came down with more catches. Like, he brings a skill set to the table that Tim Patrick was not, that J-Mo doesn't really, that Amon-Ra doesn't exactly bring. He's a contested catch guy. That is his specialty. 4 out of 5 opportunities in the preseason he came down with. The fact that Jared Goff isn't even willing to throw contested catches to Tim Patrick tells you, like, okay, like we don't know if we necessarily trust this guy last second to create separation and block a guy off with his body. They do with Isaac TeSlaa. That is his specialty. Only 30 yards of yak. I don't know how I would technically word that. 30 yards after the catch. Maybe I'll just say that. So nothing crazy, but like totally on track to outpace Tim Patrick. And look, I know it's the preseason. It's against inferior competition compared to what you're going to get in the regular season. I don't think Isaac TeSlaa week 1 is all of a sudden going to be this dominant receiver, but hey, when the defense is worried about J-Mo, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jahmyr Gibbs, and Sam Laporta, and David Montgomery, I think they're going to forget about this guy, and he's going to make them remember them very quickly into this season, because all I can dream about right now is Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield, and then a lineup of Amon-Ra lined out left, J-Mo lined out right, Sam Laporta on the line, and then Isaac TeSlaa somewhere as well. That's a really scary group of weapons. We said well before this Isaac TeSlaa thing that the Lions had the best group of weapons in the NFL. That group just got even better, right? Tim Patrick, very safe option. Isaac TeSlaa, all the upside in the world. If you're in a dynasty league, go pick this guy up. Stash him on the taxi squad. It's a perfect candidate for it. 989-837-6125. Your reaction to Isaac TeSlaa now being firmly inserted into this wide receiver 3 spot upon week 1. Tim Patrick on the move to Jacksonville for a 6th-round pick in return. Fair value, right? I don't think either team
I would think so.
won the trade in terms of value. I hope
that's not even what it's about. Yeah,
I hope he contributes to this Jacksonville team. Like, there's no bad blood here by any stretch of the imagination.
Not at all.
And if they told Tim Patrick, like, hey, man, I don't know, it's like Isaac TeSlaa beat you out here, and we know you want to play, there's a very good chance they just mutually agreed, like, yeah, I want to play. Let's find somewhere where I can play. And if that's the case, like, good for the Lions. Good for Tim Patrick. Because even
better than waiving him, yeah, exactly.
Even if Isaac TeSlaa beat him out, you'd prefer to have Tim Patrick as depth, right? So I'd assume he did
with
have
open roster spots. Yeah.
Right. I'd assume he did have something to say about it. Like, yeah, I kind of want to play. All right, let's find you somewhere where you can play, because he's clearly the wide receiver 3 down in Jacksonville, right? With Brian Thomas and Travis Hunter as the 1 and 2 there.
Yeah.
So it's like he's going to help that team out. I wish him the best of luck, but hey, man, it's Isaac TeSlaa clock. 989-837-6125. Your reaction to that. We're going to jump into the Za'Darius Smith thing next, because the Lions still have 3 open roster spots, which is kind of bizarre. How are they going to fill those spots? We'll give you some ideas when we come back. We've got our mid-morning catch. Jeremy Reisman's going to come on in the 10 o'clock hour to discuss this trade. Is there any alternatives to Za'Darius Smith? And then we'll hop into the Tigers conversation from last night. Thought we were leading with that. Wake up with the Isaac TeSlaa, Tim Patrick news, so that took priority. We'll get to the Tigers game last night as well. We've got until noon. Hope you're with us the whole time. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. Hey, you can stay secure, stay connected, and stay ahead with Linked Technologies, your local IT experts in Midland. From small businesses to large operations, they provide custom tech solutions that actually make your life easier. Specializing in networking, cybersecurity, cloud services, and managed IT support all under one roof. Fast, reliable service with real people that speak your language. Whether you're upgrading, protecting, troubleshooting, Linked Technologies keeps your systems running smooth. Visit linkedtechsolutions.com and see how they can help your business work smarter and not harder. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. Hope you guys have hit that subscribe button already. If you haven't, what are you doing? You're missing out. Hit the button. We're trying to get to 360 by the end of the week. We're 19 away. I'd appreciate it from the bottom of my heart if you hit that subscribe button. If you already did, share it with a friend. It goes a long way. Again, 989-837-6125. We'll get to some messages and a whole lot more here. Coming up, it's the Ben Bosscher Show. Don't forget about that Michigan State, Western Michigan ticket giveaway at 10:30 right here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Get ready, Michigan. Field of Frames Fest presented by Dow is taking over Dow Diamond September 26th through 28th. It's the ultimate celebration of gaming, esports, and community, bringing together fans, families, players, and industry pros for a 3-day festival like no other. Watch elite teams battle in high-stakes competition, the Valorant Collegiate Invitational and Rocket League Semi-Pro Showdown, each with $10,000 prize pools, a $5,000 Super Smash Bros. Open Tournament, and a 17U Fortnite Youth Tournament with $1,000 up for grabs. There's live music, entertainment, and activities for all ages, plus educational panels and hands-on workshops for those interested in tech, business, and gaming industries. Tickets start at just $25, and kids 10 and under get in free. Don't miss your chance to be part of a landmark event. Visit fieldofFramesFest.com to grab your tickets today. Field of Frames. Experience the element of gaming.
Celebrate the 75th anniversary of a Peanuts Christmas with the Great Lakes Loons on Friday, August 29th. Relive the heartwarming classic in a festive atmosphere filled with nostalgia and holiday cheer. The team will also wear Peanuts-inspired jerseys that fans can bid on during a live online auction. For tickets, head to loons.com. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader. From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day, interscholastic sports in Michigan. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
(989-837-6125). Your reactions to Isaac TeSlaa being inserted into that wide receiver 3 spot with the news of Tim Patrick being traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm excited, man. As a Lions fan, like putting the radio thing aside, putting the microphone aside, as a Lions fan, like this means that your third-round pick was good enough to trade away a veteran wide receiver who's really strong for you last year, who had a really good performance for you, a trustworthy, reliable target on the outside in Tim Patrick. 0 drops last season, but guess what? Isaac TeSlaa, 0 drops in preseason. An average depth of target of 14 yards. This guy dominated preseason in a way we haven't seen in a long time from a Lions wide receiver necessarily. So as a Lions fan, I couldn't be more thrilled about this. You know, as someone who gets the privilege of speaking into this microphone, it's like, this is such great news to be able to spread to everyone that, okay, yeah, it stinks that you're losing out on a guy like Tim Patrick, but let's not blow his value out of the water. Really good run blocker, reliable third target, but at the end of the day, this was a guy who didn't really provide a ton of upside, I would say. He was a safe option.
Right.
Isaac TeSlaa, on the other hand, while there's probably going to be a little bit of a learning curve, because mostly through camp he's been repping with the second-string guys and going up against the second-string defense, and still has to get a lot of work against some first-stringers, and then obviously the practice leading up to the Green Bay game, which I guess we're kind of at that phase of training camp now. A lot of work to do, but it's really going to help when the attention's on Amon-Ra, when the attention's on J-Mo, Laporta, Gibbs, and he just kind of gets to go one-on-one with some of these cornerback 2s or 3s across the league, depending on your opponent. I think this guy's poised for a really good season. I'm not talking offensive player of the year or any record-breaking stuff, considering all the mouths that they have to feed, but there's no way he's not making an impact right away. That's why I ran to my phone this morning and bet on him to score a touchdown against the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, that's the part that you brought up in the beginning, I think, is what is so important here, because if you trust this Lions front office, which they have given Lions fans no reason not to, then this should get you ultra excited, because not only did they trade up to get this guy in the draft, and at the time of the draft, you look at the numbers and you're like, man, what do they really see in this guy? Like, I'm going to have to watch the tape. And then you start to believe it a little bit more as, obviously, you watch him in preseason, you hear about all the buzz in training camp. But the fact that they doubled down on investing in this guy, not just trading up, giving up capital for him in the draft, but moving on from Tim Patrick rather than just making it a competition for the wide receiver 3 spot throughout the season. They really trust TeSlaa to be in that spot and make an impact right away, which that should make Lions fans more excited than anything that the front office has fully invested in this guy.
And it's not like Tim Patrick was, they chose to bring him back, right? He was a free agent, and they re-signed him and thought he was a priority. Well, he dealt with a little bit of a training camp injury and was openly kind of suggesting, yeah, I know I haven't had a good camp. I know this has been a little sluggish for me. I'm not used to this. It kind of felt like, by all accounts, and most of the reporters saying, yeah, just kind of a down camp from Tim Patrick in general. And I'm sure the Lions saw that and said, well, injury prone, wrong side of 30, already showing signs of regression. So let's just bring this young guy in who's stealing headlines. I mean, it's kind of like the McGonigal situation. Only Jeff Greenberg's like refusing to call him up to AAA. Remember when we had the conversation last week of like, he's just playing so well where you almost can't not bring him up? That's kind of how I felt about TeSlaa in preseason and in
what else is he supposed to do to earn a spot, you know?
He's done everything and more.
Right.
We had to raise our expectations, 3 different times? Basically every week of preseason, we raised our expectations on what Isaac TeSlaa could be. And
I mean, even
every single time it was like, nope, you gotta raise it even higher.
We had the conversation yesterday, who's going to get more snaps week 1, TeSlaa or Patrick? And you immediately said Patrick, and I kind of went back and forth on it. I was like, yeah, it probably is, I guess.
I wanted it to be TeSlaa. I just kind of figured it would be Patrick. But That's not even a question anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
989-837-6125. We'll get to some of your text messages here momentarily. Actually, you know what? Let's just jump right into it. This one is from an unnamed number. Leave your name. Leave where you're texting from. We give you guys a shout out. Already put my TeSlaa and Monty anytime touchdown slip in. That's from an unnamed texter. I love that. Parlay them though. Monty has.
Wait, Montgomery TeSlaa parlay?
I don't know if it's a parlay from this texter, but Monty still I bet gets the most value in the touchdowns because everyone's just so on board the Gibbs train.
Right.
That, like, I love Montgomery
we forget that Montgomery scored in nearly every game last year that he played in.
I love Montgomery where he's going in fantasy drafts, by the way. Just pick him up as, like, your third running back. Stash him on the bench if you can get him in that spot. If he has to be your running back, too, that's totally fine, too, I guess. Maybe pushing it a little bit. But he's being undervalued, it feels like, because everyone's just so on board the Gibbs train, which is fine.
I get it. Yeah, I understand.
This one's from Will. He says, do you think Isaac TeSlaa will get to a wide receiver 2 job and jump over J-Mo if he proves himself during the season? No. I mean, at this point, J-Mo's a veteran, right?
Yeah, I mean, he absolutely is. Year 4.
Yeah, he's
technically,
and he's got better every single season. You theoretically think TeSlaa goes like this and just continues to slowly rise over the next 3-4 years, like when he's on his rookie deal, but he's not catching.
We still got to remember how we've discussed J-Mo as well, like for this season. Like we all feel confidently that he's going to have another big year.
Yeah,
right?
I think in the long term,
long term wise, you could maybe say TeSlaa might get prioritized over J-Mo just from a cap and contract standpoint. But
yeah, and we put out like a little reel from the show. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before of me suggesting. Hey, there is a chance here that Isaac TeSlaa, with how much they believe in him, and I think there's even more evidence of this now, in the long term, don't be surprised if he's the one that's replacing J-Mo because they're already paying one receiver as a top 10 highest paid receiver in the NFL. They're going to be paying a tight end that way too. They're going to be paying they're paying a quarterback that way. They're paying an offensive tackle that way. They're probably going to pay a running back that way.
Paying a safety that way.
They're already paying one safety, probably paying another. You got to get an edge rusher in there too. Like it just, the cap is one of the most confusing things ever. And I'd be lying if I said I fully understand it because every time I feel like I understand it, something else happens where it's like, wait, what is this? But it's just hard for me to fundamentally wrap my head around the idea of paying 2 different receivers $20 million, unless you're the Bengals, who couldn't afford to give their edge rusher an extension, right? And the Lions obviously are going to give their edge rusher one. So if TeSlaa's replacing J-Mo in the long term, I guess I wouldn't be totally shocked. We're still a ways away from that, though. Like this year, next year, and then you could still tag them. So we're miles away from that. But I just want to kind of put that on everyone's radar because I don't think that's off the table. But this year, no, J-Mo's locked into that wide receiver 2 spot. This one's from Eric. Does this free up cap space to go get Za'Darius Smith? All right, I'm glad you brought this up. The Lions have 3 different roster spots open right now. They only have 50 guys on the roster. I think it's safe to assume they're getting a edge rusher at some point, whether or not it's Za'Darius Smith. If I give you odds, Za'Darius Smith versus the field in terms of the edge rusher they get,
it's got to be minus, right? I mean, minus 250 for Za'Darius Smith. Like, it seems like the best.
Why has it not happened?
The worst kept secret in the sport right now is that Za'Darius Smith is going back to the Lions. You look around on Twitter right now, it's like everyone's speculating what's the big move for the Lions. Like, something is coming. It's Za'Darius Smith. That's what's coming, right?
I agree. Why has it not happened yet, though? We thought it happened after the Hall of Fame game. We were wrong. We thought it happened after the following preseason game. We were wrong. We're through roster cuts, and they're at 50 people, and he still hasn't signed. And I don't know, Brad Holmes has basically came out and said, the ball's in his court. We've offered him the money. And I'm just going to not even say how much money the Lions have in cap space and what they should offer him right now because
you're wrong. That's why.
I'm wrong, but I'm not as wrong as, like, everyone's making me out to be. I don't exactly know how much cap space the Lions have because SpoTrack, the website that most people use or over the cap, suggesting the Lions have like $40 million right now, which is just not true. I think the last couple days and probably until the next couple days, like between all the cuts that everyone's making and the season cap season technically not starting until the first day of the year. It's just all jacked up right now. I promise you they don't have $40 million.
It also suggests that every team has nearly that much money as well, which is
not true.
Right.
Simply not true. So I don't before all the training camps started, they had $10.9 million, I want to say, give or take a couple decimal places. But Za'Darius Smith, you give him, $8 million to come play for you this season? Seems like a fair deal to me. So, look, I'm not going to throw out any numbers, but it feels like that is the very obvious pick to come play for the Lions. But there is a couple more edge rushers I wanted to throw out if for some godforsaken reason this doesn't end up working out with Za'Darius Smith. Shaq Barrett's available. Hasn't really played since 2023, though, so none of these options are as good as Za'Darius Smith. Jadeveon Clowney's available. Not a great run defender by any stretch of the imagination. Also just got waived.
Really just a third down guy, too.
Yeah.
Which Smith is kind of that way, but.
Yeah. If Smith comes on the team, I almost feel like Davenport's still playing first and second down. And Smith is the guy they're bringing on third down.
Yeah.
Carl Lawson's still available. Another candidate. And then Preston Smith is available, but all his numbers from last year were terrible, to be honest. And then the other thing that noteworthy happened from yesterday was they had an injury settlement with Hassanin, their 6th-round pick, which was crazy considering they have open roster spots. They didn't actually need to do this. So technically, when his injury settlement is over and then additional 3 weeks, so however long it takes for him to recover from this injury, plus 3 weeks, he can sign anywhere. Why would they take that risk when you could have just thrown him on IR? No one seems to have the answer to that.
Yeah,
right
once
now.
again, it seems like something else is coming. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy or unreal, but at the end of the day, there are 3 guys short of a league that probably most rosters are full at the moment. So it's weird stuff.
989-837-6125. We'll get to some news when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Great Lakes returned home for their final homestand of the 2025 season last night, facing off against the top team in all the Midwest League, the West Michigan Whitecaps. And it was a tight, low-scoring game, and unfortunately, the Whitecaps defeated the Loons 2-1. Brooks Auger had a good outing, going 5 1/3, striking out 4, just allowing 1 run. And the lone run driven in for Great Lakes came from Zaire Hope, his 70th of the year.
Payoff. Hope swings, ground ball, hit to the left side, and sneaks through. Past the diving effort of Haiti. Hope's 70th ribby ties us at 1 here in the 6th.
West Michigan would answer immediately in the top half of the 7th inning, supplying another run, and that would be the final score as they took it 2-1. Great Lakes trails Lake County by a game and a half for that final playoff spot in the East Division. So these next 5 games at Dow Diamond are very important for the Loons' postseason opportunity. They're right back at it with the Whitecaps tonight at 7:05, pregame at 6:50 here on the Mitt.
Do we have any spray paint?
Why?
I need lots of paint. I'm going to paint the house.
I don't think so.
But it looks bad.
Well, you can't spray paint the house.
And then let's call Bresky Siding and Building Repair. They can do it.
Is your siding looking faded, worn out, or just in need of an update? Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today for all your siding, roofing, and gutter needs.
Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At Iron Stack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronStackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. Iron Stack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
Suit up, Sea Captain. At Dive and Glide in Midland, we've got all the gear you need to make a splash. Flippers that fit like a glove, masks that show you the underwater magic, and tanks ready to fuel your next adventure. Whether you're snorkeling the local lakes or dreaming of ocean depths, Dive and Glide has your back and your fins. Find us on Cambridge Street or swim over to diveandglideinc.com. Dive and Glide, making waves one splash at a time so you can dive deeper than ever before.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit CervinskySodService.com.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back in. Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt. Ben Bosscher talking to you right now. Kyle Sandel producing for you behind the glass today. Want to take a second. If you like this show so far, if you're new to the show, it seems like there is a lot of new people in the YouTube today. If you're enjoying what you're listening to or watching, hit that subscribe button. It'd go a long way for us. Only takes a second. We'd appreciate it here at 100.9 The Mitt. Here's what's coming up the rest of the day. We're giving away tickets to the Michigan State game this Friday against Western Michigan. That is around 10:30. And also around 10:30, Jeremy Reisman's going to be popping on to discuss this trade that went down this morning. There you go, Kyle. Until then, let's hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right, let's get right into the news, Ben. I do want to dive into something that you did mention earlier, but kind of just dove right past it. I think this is a big deal. Riley Green's grand slam last night.
Oh, my God, man.
The longest home run in the Tigers StatCast era, 471 feet. StatCast era all the way since 2015. So basically in 10 years, it's the longest home run a Tigers hitter's had.
Decimated it. We never even saw it come down. And it was to dead center, too, with the bases loaded for his first career grand slam. You know how earlier this year, this has kind of been like a storyline of this summer. It's, hey, Riley Green, all-star, obviously, back-to-back years. And then we thought he was kind of walking into the superstar club, kind of like in the foyer, looking around, looking at Judge, looking at Ohtani. He's like, do I belong here? And then he had that cold streak, and the bouncer kicked him out and said, reapply next year. Well, he jumped right back to the front of the line yesterday and is now kind of knocking on that door again. I don't know if he has a foot in the door.
Front of the line, really?
I think he's knocking on the door for the Superstar Club once again. And if he can have a good postseason, which is the opposite of the postseason he had last year, who knows?
He's a couple spots behind Junior Caminero down in Tampa Bay, who's just been going crazy lately.
Yeah, one of three guys in the American League ahead of him in home runs. It's Cal, it's Judge, it's Caminero, Riley Green.
Pretty crazy stuff. Tigers game 3 against the Athletics is once again tonight, a late-nighter, 10:05 first pitch. Once again, Casey Mize taking on a right-hander, Luis Morales.
Did you make it through the whole game yesterday?
I did, yeah. Obviously, we had Loons here late last night, so I was kind of already up anyways. Didn't get home till pretty late. And it was one of them times where it was like, well, it's already like the 7th inning and I'm home, so I might as well just watch the rest of this game. And I tell you what, I know we're going to talk about it later. Nothing really like makes you more mad than your team losing the way that they did.
When it's that late.
When it's that late. Yeah. And then you just got to go to bed.
Yes.
Oh, man. Just going to bed angry is not a fun thing to do.
Also, Colt Keith just like straight up benched yesterday.
Yeah, for making a terrible play that actually worked out in the Tigers' favor.
Well, that was the second terrible play he had made that day.
Right.
Tough series so far for Colt Keith, even though he homered yesterday. So maybe I'm
McKinstry, another bad error yesterday as well. Just the defense has been brutal. All right, let's move on from. Actually, I do need to throw in one more Tigers thing. Because yesterday on MLB Radio, AJ Hinch said that Alex Cobb was being pulled off of his rehab assignment and shut down for a week. This allows the club to reset the assignment for another 30 days, but a decision is obviously going to have to be made before that with, the season coming to an end in like 30 days.
I don't think he's going to play this year. I think it might go down as the worst contract in... I'd have to do some digging on the worst contracts like in Tigers history, but I mean, if he doesn't pitch a single pitch this season, $15 million just down the drain for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of the more frustrating things that has happened on this season for the Tigers, that's for sure. We'll do a quick Tigers PR injury update because we got another one of those yesterday. Obviously, the Alex Cobb news is like the headliner of that. But a couple guys that are set to return from injury hopefully soon, including Parker Meadows. He is beginning a rehab assignment with AAA Toledo tonight, so that's good news because we hope to see Meadows back in the lineup at some point for the Tigers. Paul Sewald completed a bullpen session yesterday, which is notable news as well because hopefully he'll be making a rehab assignment here at some point with one of the minor league affiliates. And Matt Vierling is completing a return-to-play hitting progression. He's also playing catch and completing defensive drills daily. They don't throw Dylan Smith in here, who made a rehab assignment with the West Michigan Whitecaps last night right here at Dow Diamond. So there's our note there.
There you go.
All right, how did I not mention this? This is the biggest news of the day, maybe of the year, maybe of all time.
Nope, I know it. I don't even want to hear it.
Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Nope.
Engaged.
Nope.
I will say it's pretty funny that sports fans found out about this news before Taylor Swift fans, thanks to our beloved Adam Schefter.
I've got nothing on this, man. I've got a notes page in my phone, in my notes app, that just says things I'm all set on. Taylor Swift content is the number one thing written down on the list, right in front of Little League World Series. So I've got nothing to say on the Taylor Swift thing.
Little League World Series being all set on that over Taylor Swift is actually absurd from you.
Two things I just don't care about.
Sports.
Sorry, Swifties. Don't care.
It's tough. All right, we did the news about a week ago where Malik Beasley has been basically cleared of the investigation that was going on with him gambling-wise, and you kind of are sitting around waiting like, are the Pistons going to sign him? Are anybody going to sign him? We got a little bit of an update with that. The Detroit Pistons and Minnesota Timberwolves have recently touched base with Malik Beasley along with the New York Knicks and Cleveland Cavaliers. Obviously, Beasley is a free agent currently, so any team is allowed to reach out to him, talk to him, but we're super late into the NBA free agency cycle. Training camp is actually going to get started here relatively soon for the NBA, so interested to see what the Pistons do. They still do have an open roster spot if they would like to bring back the 318 three-point shooting Beasley.
I would like so. Like for him to be back. There was some debate internally here of, hey, if you bring him back, whose minutes is he taking? Like, you're kind of cluttered in the backcourt. That is a problem that you figure out later. This guy hit 318 threes for you last season. Re-sign him and figure out the rest at another point.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it is a valid question, though, to talk about what they're going to do. So, as far as, like, if they do bring him back, is he going to play? Where is he going to play? Not is he. But.
Who wants Duncan Robinson and Tobias Harris together? Who wants them? Put them up on the block.
We'll see. We have more Micah Parsons, Dallas Cowboys drama. Not really, just another headline coming from first-year head coach Brian Schottenheimer. He admitted that Micah Parsons could be limited in his work against the Eagles if he does end up playing. Quote, at the end of the day, as soon as he can get out there, that's great. But again, there has to be a ramp-up plan for him. And when he lines up out there to play, do I think he'll play 75 plays and every down? Probably not. I don't think that's real.
Yeah, I mean, is he just going to be a third down guy, that Thursday Night Football?
Micah Parsons, like that just sounds ridiculous.
It does, considering
how
many people legitimately have an argument for best defensive player in the NFL. I'm not talking Depoy. I'm talking, like, the best player in the NFL on that side of the ball. It's Micah. It's Garrett.
Miles Garrett.
That's probably
I
it,
think
right?
it's probably those two. I think Watt is just a little bit below those guys.
Hutchinson's got a chance, but he's not quite there yet.
Pat Surtain, but I think it's mainly those five group of edge rushers with the two being at the top. And Micah Parsons really is not even a traditional edge rusher, so that's what makes him so good.
Created his own position, basically.
Right. So to have him out there limited time is crazy.
But I don't, to Schottenheimer's point, I don't think he can just not do camp and then go out there and play a full game at the NFL level. That's not how that works. You
Yeah.
got to get your body up to speed. CD had some quotes not too long ago about that from last year. It was like, yeah, that's why I got off to a slow start.
True. Hopefully we get some more updates on this because it just continues here, this Parsons v. Jerry Jones saga. We'll save the rest of the news for later.
They should have a celebrity boxing match on Netflix. That'd be awesome.
Like Jake Paul style.
Yeah. 989-837-6125. Need some more thoughts on Isaac TeSlaa being that wide receiver 3, something we've been really excited for a long time now, and now it's been confirmed. I guess not confirmed that he's the wide receiver 3, but Tim Patrick being traded to Jacksonville. If you really want to give me an argument that Khalif Raymond's going to be the wide receiver 3, sure, I'll listen to it, but I'm telling you, I think by the end of the year, it's pretty clearly Isaac TeSlaa. That's the reason that they traded Tim Patrick. They feel comfortable with TeSlaa, regardless of how they feel about Khalif Raymond. So we'll get to your thoughts on that next. Again, 989-837-6125. That's the number to the Mitt messages. Drop something in the YouTube chat as well and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It's the Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
We can't see tomorrow, but we can hear it. And it sounds like peace of mind, knowing our lakes will be better protected by placing Line 5 in the Great Lakes Tunnel. And that we've added extra safety measures while we work to build it, because we're committed to keeping the Great Lakes safe for generations to come. Tomorrow is on. Visit enbridge.com/line5 for more information. Enbridge. Life takes energy.
Close your eyes, feel the sun, hear the waves, and smell that summer air. Now open them back up, because your backyard could feel like this every day. From August 21st through September 2nd, Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center brings you the Pollywood Endless Summer Sale, featuring beautiful pieces from classic Adirondack chairs to cozy conversation sets and Chase lounges. And that's not all. Save 30% on all in-stock alfresco home and John Thomas furniture. Make your outdoor space the getaway you never have to leave at Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center.
It's your last chance to get to Dow Diamond. The Great Lakes Loons host the West Michigan Whitecaps to close out the 2025 regular season, August 26th through 31st.
It is good!
And the Loons are looking to secure a playoff spot and push for their second Midwest League championship. Tickets start at just $12 at loons.com. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
Every Wednesday on 100.9 The Mitt on the Ben Bosscher Show, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
For the next 3 weeks, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, we are going to be sending someone to the Michigan State Spartans games for their matchups against Western Michigan, Boston College, and Youngstown State. All you have to do is be listening to the show at 10:15 and listen for that keyword to text in. Big Win Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet.
Bel Air Brown, Dragon's Milk, Mad Hatter, Purple Gang,
and Huma Loopalicious. These are names that let the imagination run wild and let the taste buds take a stroll. Welcome to the craft beer craze in Michigan. Bolstered by the Great Lakes and nurtured by the glacier-rich soil, here awaits a brewer's paradise. With fresh hops growing tall in the old Mission Peninsula and fresh barley fields sweeping the mitten, Michigan ranks 5th in the nation in the number of breweries, microbreweries, and brew pubs. From Good Harbor Golden to Whitefish Bay Wheat, from Motown Lager all the way to Park Bench Porter, Michigan is serving up a frosty glass of perfection. Whether you want to take in a game with a Two-Hearted Ale or just sit on a front porch sipping a Steelhead Red, let's tap into life at its fullest and treat ourselves to a taste that's pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, we just did our news segment, so this is somewhat redundant, but I did call this last week, Kyle. We did just get a Jordan Schultz bomb. God, I hate saying that. I do not like Jordan Schultz one bit. Adam Thielen going back to the Vikings.
Oh!
Yeah. We kind of saw this one coming
Breaking
last week, though, when someone reported, I don't remember who it was, that the Vikings were interested in grabbing a second receiver with Addison being injured. This was always the choice,
Not
right?
injured, though.
Oh, yeah, not injured. Suspended, sorry. This was always the choice. My only worry was that they were going to pick up Jacoby Myers.
That's exactly what I was going to say. This is kind of a W for the Lions because, one, I think Adam Thielen is one of those guys that most Lions fans despise, right? He's like just one of the few guys in the league that is a hateable guy for Lions fans. So it's cool to get that guy back. Another reason to hate against the Vikings. But two, it's not
need
Jacoby.
A lot of those
it's
these
not
days.
Jacoby Myers. It's old, washed up Adam Thielen. So I think that's definitely a dub instead of them getting Myers.
Yeah, I don't know how realistic it was that they were going to get Myers with having to pay him too.
Right, it was just rumored though, and that just always scares you a little bit.
Jacoby Myers is good too. He's one of the more underrated
especially
players.
in that type of with O'Connell. That would have been very scary
with Jefferson. But anyway, that's just last thing on the news. We'll wrap that up here. 989-837-6125. We've been talking to TeSlaa all morning, and we've been talking this Za'Darius Smith roster spot. Well, there's 3 roster spots open right now, which is a very strange thing to do. I think everyone's still trying to make sense of why they would cut it down to 50. I mean, it makes sense to cut it down to 52, and you think they're going to sign Za'Darius Smith, but only 5 wide receivers on the team right now. They end up cutting ways with Jackson Meeks, who we'll find out, I think, by the end of the show if he cleared waivers or not and if he's back on the practice squad. But that was a guy who really stood out during camp, and they end up cutting him, and then they trade away Tim Patrick. So down to 5 receivers. Kind of shocking if you're a Lions fan. So 989-837-6125. We'll get some of your reactions right now. This is our Mitt messages. This one's from Jay. As much as I love TeSlaa, Lions are going to keep and pay J-Mo when it's time. You guys are disrespecting J-Mo, saying that the Lions are not going to be able to pay J-Mo if they are invested in TeSlaa. I don't think it's disrespectful to say that. I think it's just like a logical approach to the situation. I'd love to pay J-Mo too, but you tell me where that money's coming from. Because if J-Mo has the breakout season you guys are predicting, that I am predicting, that Kyle is predicting, all of us collectively agree this guy's going to have the best season of his career, then he's going to demand somewhere north of $20 million. It's a lot of money for your second or third option on a team.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the logical approach as well, because they also drafted Isaac TeSlaa, and now they're investing in him even more earlier than expected. Like, at the end of the day, you kind of look at the situation, and that might be the long-term plan. Obviously, we'd love to keep J-Mo around, for sure, but if he has the big year, then you're really probably not going to be able to afford it.
But look, you got the 5th-year option.
Right. You can tag him the year after that if you want.
Which will get expensive, but you can do it.
Yes, this is not like the last year of J-Mo in a Lions uniform. Like,
No.
that's not what we're saying. It's just long-term wise, with the amount of other positions you got to pay and young studs.
And
it
to
seems
stop
like,
blowing our expectations out of the water.
It makes it a lot easier to put that money elsewhere.
Yeah, I don't think that's disrespectful towards J-Mo. Honestly, it's a credit to him. Like, if the Lions are able to re-sign J-Mo, that probably means he had a bad year or two.
At least not like a big year.
Yeah.
Right.
It means it was disappointing. Right?
I guess, yeah. If we're all expecting him to have a leap from last year, then yes.
This one's from a texter named Kyle. Sure. Why not work in some Tigers? This one says, add more into the Tigers pitchers I don't trust now. And in the playoffs, along with Paddock and Flaherty, Tigers keep losing to cellar dwellers. Are the A's still considered a cellar?
I mean, they're not.
Cellar dweller?
They're not good. Like they did make like a huge trade at the deadline, trading away 2 of their better players.
Yeah, their offense is fun though.
Yeah, their offense is pretty good. They're a top 10 team in homers on the season. They have a good amount of young players. They have the American League Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Like if I was a A's fan, like one of the 74 that exist, I'd be excited about the future of this team. Now, the future of the team is located
right.
Where?
Yeah, right, exactly.
I don't know, but
the players on the team, yeah, you'd be. I mean, they're only 10 games under. Like, they're not like terrible. So,
I don't like losing to them. I'll say that. And the Tigers have had a lot of trouble with the A's over the past decade. The record's actually kind of insane. We'll tell you that in just a moment. But let's work back for the Lions at least to close out the 9 o'clock hour, and we'll circle back to the Tigers to open up the 10 o'clock hour. Where else do you think that they need to spend these roster spots that are open right now? Because like I said, they're at 50. That's after trading Tim Patrick and signing a special teams guy from Jacksonville. So they're at 50 right now. It'd be pretty shocking if they didn't bring in an edge, specifically to Za'Darius Smith. And honestly, it'd be kind of surprising if there wasn't another receiver added to this bunch too, right?
yeah, with 5 currently.
Yeah.
My assumption is that they must have a good understanding that Meeks is going to clear waivers, right?
How do they know that?
But that's what a lot of this is about, though. Like when they do these roster cuts, they kind of gauge the rest of the league prior to that, and they make those decisions based on getting guys back. That's why those guys are in those spots, and they're so good at their jobs. So I would assume that they have a good feeling about that, beings they cut him, because they didn't really have to, right? Especially they could have just traded Patrick a day ago. Maybe that it wasn't a deal a day ago, but still. So I would assume that Meeks gets that last spot. If not, then yeah, I mean, you're not going to have 5 receivers, especially with open roster spots. But I think they might even add 2 edge rushers. I mean, they have three of them, and one guy missed basically the entire year last year in Marcus Davenport. So, like, it's not going to be any crazy good players, obviously, but just to add some depth. I mean, I would be pretty surprised if they didn't.
I wouldn't be shocked at all if they added a quarterback too, and they wanted a third one on the roster. Yeah, why not?
Why not just keep Hooker though?
As a practice squad guy? I don't know, because he sucks. Because he's
What?
really bad at football.
Oh, so there's other third-string quarterbacks out there that don't suck? Like,
there was someone I saw earlier, maybe it was yesterday, who got waived by his team that I thought would be an interesting.
Was it McCord from Philly?
Yeah,
because I actually saw some stuff about that.
Colin McCord, give him a call. Why not? He had a great season last year with Syracuse. It just didn't make
he did,
Philly.
you're right.
Didn't. I don't think he just fits the Philly. What they're trying to do. If you want to replicate what your starters do, and Colin McCord's nothing at all like Jalen Hurts. So, but if you want someone to like run a system and kind of just play point guard in your offense the way that Jared Goff does. I mean, Jared Goff plays point guard like Chris Paul. It's a lot better than just like your average.
So he's the greatest quarterback.
No, not necessarily. But like, I don't know. I think people are sensitive to the word system quarterback. I think Jared Goff is mostly that, even though there's a negative connotation on it. I think he's just the best system quarterback in the NFL. I think Tom Brady was a system quarterback. He's just like a genius at it. And maybe system quarterback's just another word for a guy who sits in the pocket these days and doesn't move. And Colin McCord had a little bit of juice to him, but I think that'd be a nice addition. Like, why not? You may as well bring someone else in if there's an open roster spot. I wouldn't be super opposed to that. And then the other noteworthy thing was, I think we were both just wrong about our Dan Skipper takes yesterday. I just think he isn't going to be on this team. I think Jamarco Jones just beat him out as the OT3.
But like, they had the open spots though. That's just the part that I don't understand.
But why keep 5 offensive tackles?
Well, but
better question: why keep
offensive lineman
Giovanni
is the most
Amanu?
abundant spot? Well, right, but like, offensive line is the spot that is the most abundant position on the team roster wise. Like the amount of players you have.
Like just lacking them?
No, like you just have the most of them. Like there's 9 offensive linemen typically on the roster.
Yeah, but there's only 4 tackles.
Right, but Skipper's
and one of
not,
them can't
Skipper's
play.
not just a tackle. I mean, like when he does play, he's just doing whatever. He's like an extra offensive lineman essentially.
Right. Well, maybe
he's his own thing.
I think they just feel more comfortable with Jamarco Jones. Like there's no other explanation behind it anymore, because they wouldn't have cut Skipper if they didn't just believe in Jamarco Jones.
We got someone in our YouTube chat saying they should have kept Lynn. I assume they mean Nate Lynn there.
Yeah, the edge rusher.
Probably, right? I mean, you only have 3 guys. Like,
I think there's no way that they're not bringing in Za'Darius Smith.
Obviously. Yeah.
Za'Darius Smith, just if he's not a Lion, it's kind of a failure on behalf of Brett Holmes, like in managing who made the team and who didn't. Because then there's like some serious regret in terms of, not keeping Lynn, who had a really good preseason. If you don't get Za'Darius Smith, like somewhat of a hole on the roster, all of a sudden, if one injury happens, which kind of just assume is going to happen at some point this season with Davenport, things get real sketchy. We spent a whole hour on the Lions. We'll get back to them at 10:30 when Jeremy Reisman pops on with us, but it is Tigers o'clock when we come back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Isaiah, how did you get all wet?
I was playing in the rain.
Son, you're in the house. It's not raining inside. Or is it?
Yeah, it's in the kitchen.
What?
Oh no, the roof has a leak.
Leak? That's a waterfall.
We need that fixed now.
Bresky Siding and Building Repair can fix it.
What, son?
Any job, anywhere. Bresky can do it all.
Call Bresky right now and get that roof fixed. And while you're at it, have him fix the gutters.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
Broken appliance? Don't panic. Call Mr. Appliance. With a 4.9-star Google rating, our expert service professionals deliver speedy service with a 1-year done-right promise, so you can count on long-lasting repairs. We treat your home or business with care, no mess, and no trace left behind. Ask about our appliance wellness program to keep things running smoothly year-round. Visit us online at MrAppliance.com for easy online scheduling and local contact information. Mr. Appliance, speedy, trusted, guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. Let's clean up that yard. Save $3 instantly on select Roundup and Ortho weed killers. Save $10 on 64-ounce spruce, weed, and grass killer. You know what season it is? Grilling season. Free assembly and delivery on grills, $399 and up from brands like Weber and Traeger. Need that deck touched up? Do it and save $10 instantly on a gallon of Cabot exterior stain.
Looking for the perfect golf getaway? Tee up at Sandy Ridge Golf Course, Midland's hidden gem. Whether you're a scratch golfer or just out for fun, Sandy Ridge offers a beautifully maintained 18-hole course, friendly staff, and unbeatable rates, plus a brand new clubhouse. Book your tee time today at sandyridgegolfcourse.com or call 989-631-6010. Sandy Ridge Golf Course, where great golf meets pure Michigan beauty.
Hi, this is Jim Mahoney with Link Technologies. If you are a business or a nonprofit organization wondering how to navigate today's technologies landscape, let Link Technologies' talented staff work with you to develop a technology plan custom to your specific needs. We bring 27 years of experience helping businesses and nonprofit organizations just like yours achieve their technology goals. Contact us today and see how the right balance between cloud and on-premise resources can best work for you.
At Aird Insurance Group, they're more than just policies. They're your trusted partners in protecting what matters most.
Whether it's auto, home, life, or business insurance, their team takes the time to understand your needs and find the best coverage for your unique situation.
With personalized service and unbeatable rates, Aird Insurance Group makes protecting your future easy.
Call Aird Insurance Group today and see why their clients trust them to keep them covered.
Aird Insurance Group.
The experience matters.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
989-837-6125. 10 o'clock hour beginning right now here on the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt. We've got a Michigan State ticket giveaway coming up at 10:30. Also at 10:30, Jeremy Reisman from PrideOfDetroit.com is going to join us to discuss this Isaac TeSlaa trade that we've basically been talking about for an hour. If you're just joining the show on YouTube, you can rewind it right now and listen to that entire thing. We'll circle back to it in the 11 o'clock hour as well. If you're new to the YouTube page, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. It only takes a second and it helps us out in a big way. So with that being said, let's put a pin in the Detroit Lions thing and Isaac TeSlaa jumping into that wide receiver 3 role with Tim Patrick being traded. And let's jump into this Tigers game. It was another late night for the Tigers last night. They head into extra innings, but unfortunately, can't get it done. Where do you want to start, Kyle? Do you want to start with the Riley Green 471-foot bomb?
Yeah, let's be a little positive. Why not?
Okay, that wasn't even a bomb. That was like a nuclear
yes.
power plant. I don't even know.
That was a war crime.
It was. That was a no-doubter right off the bat, dead center. That funky minor league stadium, like you didn't even see where it went. Some are saying it hasn't even landed yet.
Yeah,
but
who even went and got that?
471 feet, longest home run by a Tiger in the StatCast era. Arguably, like, there's no way we'll ever know this. There's probably a pretty good case, though, that's just the longest home run ever in Tigers history, right?
Probably not. I mean, I would just assume there had to have been one that's longer.
Like a Miggy Prince
right.
Fielder
I mean,
one? I don't know, man.
Pre-2015, there's a lot of good power hitters that played before then. You know, like it's
dead center.
The
471
juice ball
though,
era
is
too.
tough.
You know, like you're telling me someone in the late '90s. I know the Tigers were really bad in that era, but like in the juice ball era, someone would have had to have hit one 480.
471 though, dead center. That's about as good as it
Big
gets,
stuff, yeah.
especially when the bases are loaded. That was Riley Green's first ever career home grand slam, which I don't know if that was hard to believe.
I mean, he just hasn't been in the league that long. Yeah, I don't think it's very surprising.
The crazy thing was they showed Riley Green's stats when the bases are loaded, and we've kind of had some debate whether or not he's a clutch hitter with this team. The stats say he actually is, but it feels like in the big moments in the ninth inning, there isn't a lot of Riley Green moments that you can look back upon. Like they just kind of come off the top of the head. But with bases loaded, this is after last night. You want to take a guess as to what his batting average and OPS are?
When the bases are loaded?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see the stats, so I don't know if it's good or bad. I'll guess, like, I don't know, he's hitting like 200 with...
Oh, no,
No,
man.
he's great with the bases loaded?
Whatever you think your answer is...
It's double?
Way higher.
Like hitting 400 with the bases loaded?
Higher.
450?
Slightly higher.
460?
455.
Jeez.
That's his batting average.
What's the OPS then? Probably like 1,400?
That's this season, though, not in his career, just to be fair.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't have told you that. The OPS, is that what you asked?
Yeah.
With the bases loaded, the OPS is 1,326.
Yeah. That's
just
awesome.
Has been a monster this season with a slugging of its own of 900. Just destroying the baseball in these situations with the bases are loaded, which there probably hasn't been as many opportunities as you'd think. Like, all those numbers sound great, but then you take into consideration he's only had 11 at-bats with the bases loaded. That's pretty good. It's coming through, obviously, way more often than not.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that wasn't enough for the Tigers yesterday. They can't get it done against the A's. Again, that's back-to-back days. The A's get the best of the Tigers out in where do they play?
I was going to say, where
I don't know. They're homeless, so they don't really have a home stadium. Whatever. It's been a tough sled versus the A's for a while now. You want to guess the record against the A's since 2020?
I saw something. How many games is it? Because I saw something similar to it, like 17-30 or something like that.
11-21 since 2020.
Okay, yeah.
But they've just had the better part of the Tigers' number here for a long time, these homeless A's.
Right, which even since 2020 is kind of crazy because the A's were consistently like one of the better teams in the American League for a long stretch of the late 2010s.
Yeah,
but post-COVID is when they really sold this thing and traded everyone away, and it's just been this really long rebuild ever since then. So that's still kind of shocking.
I think there is an element of the park where it's like most of these Tigers, I'd imagine, if not all of them, have never played here. So it makes it a little difficult for the outfielders.
Sure.
Clearly something. Colt Keith doesn't like this park for some reason. He can't stop making errors.
I cannot believe that double play that they turned and how excited Troy Melton was about it. Like, I mean, I would be excited if I was him too, but, like, I would have more so just looked at Colt Keith and been like, dude, are you serious? Because the guy on first got on because of McKinstry error. So it was back-to-back dumb plays from the defense.
Yeah. 2 days in a row where the defense has really let down this Tigers team. Like, has been
absolutely
the biggest reason that they've lost these games. Because, look, as the game's going on and it's like past midnight and I'm like, I need to go to bed to do the show in the morning, but I'm not going to bed right now because it was a close game. There was a bunch of things that were crossing my mind. It was like, hey, do we need to like start talking about Kyle Finnegan as the best addition at the deadline for any team? Like, that was a thought that crossed my mind, especially the way Helsley's pitching right now for the Mets. Something else that crossed my mind was like, is Troy Melton like seriously the X factor that's going to determine whether or not they go to a World Series? Because having that guy come out of the bullpen and being able to get you through those middle innings, he's been nothing but spectacular for this Tigers team. But the fact that they don't come out on top, you kind of just have to point to the defense, right? And the fact that they, for some reason, can't beat the A's.
Well, and it was just like, this felt one of the, like when they scored in the top of the 10th and McKinstry came up clutch and kind of made up for his bad defensive play earlier, I legitimately felt like, okay, they're going to win this game. Like, because they've been so good in one-run games this season. It's a stat that I continue to bring up, but like they're 20-8. Well, they were 20-8. Now they're 20-9. But they haven't really been great in extra innings. But it just feels like that game, it's like, okay, yeah, they're for sure going to win this. Vest is coming in to close things down. And the way that, the walk-off walk obviously is just demoralizing, the way that it goes down like that. But this entire division, man, the American League West, which as a whole, it's not a good division, but there really isn't any terrible teams in it. Like the Athletics, like I said, are the worst team, 10 games under. The Tigers are 500 against the American League West this year. Whereas against the East and Central, they're just much, much better against. So it's kind of weird. Like Seattle, they've really struggled against. Obviously, Houston, they swept, but they lost to Houston earlier in the season. The Angels and Rangers both have gotten the better of the Tigers. Just a weird situation going on with this entire division right now for Detroit to play against them this year. But can't get swept today. Obviously, that's the big thing. Just an unfortunate way to lose last night's game.
I'm trying to make sense of the division thing and why they've had so much more success against.
Right, because it's obviously not like East. You're playing every game out. Like if it was all these games are on the road, then yeah, you could use that as an excuse. But it's not like this division is better than the other ones. At least they don't have the White Sox in it, so they don't have like the god awful team. But the East is obviously a much better division.
Or are they just the bigger brands, and we just refuse to believe that? No, like I'm kind of serious. Like if Boston has the same record as New York, and they have the same record as, I'm kind of just making stuff up here, but let's say the Rangers. Like I don't know. I feel like people are just going to talk about the Boston Red Sox and the Yankees more. Like yeah, those are more dangerous teams. Like oh, look at the AL East. I feel like the AL East just gets anointed as a really good division, no matter what. And
you could say maybe they're catching these teams at the wrong times. Because, like, especially when they played the Rangers earlier this year, that's when they were playing really good baseball. The Mariners were extremely hot when we faced them.
And the Tigers were ice cold.
Right. But it's not, this one is no excuse with the Athletics. It's like they've been scorching hot as of late. When they lost to the Angels, it's not like they were on some big win streak. So, I don't know what it is about these teams out west in the American League, but the Tigers have been exactly mid against them this season.
Who's your biggest fear out in the AL? In the American League right now, other than the Tigers, because they've firmly put themselves back in the driver's seat to win the American League. They're the favorites. According
Still have
to
the
Vegas.
best record, even though they've lost 3 straight games.
Yeah, and they're the favorites according to Vegas, which I think is a little bit more important.
Yeah,
I'm not going to waver from Seattle. I've been on this Seattle like holy cow, this team's kind of scary train before the deadline. I'm not wavering from it.
Ever since they went on that humongous win streak, I think they won 7 or 8 in a row. Ever since then, they've kind of cooled off a little bit. Just 9 games over right now. Not in the lead in their division. But I think as far as an opportunity where you have to play that team early, because the Tigers will likely get a bye. Super likely get a bye.
Yeah, which I'm not all that convinced is a good thing.
I think it is because you probably have to play Seattle if not. And I'm just all good on that, having to face them round 1. Seattle or Boston, and I really don't want to play either of those teams. You look around at the rest of the teams, and it's like...
There's not really a team that sticks out as, like, that's the team you want to
play.
Right,
it's exactly what I was going to say. Like, you asked me what team do I fear, and I'm like, dude, I could talk myself into fearing all these teams. And that's what makes you feel a lot worse about the Tigers, just looking around like, man, they could easily lose a series to any of these teams.
Well, yeah, they're losing a series to the A's right now.
Right, and I've talked a lot about Charlie Morton and all this and that. I really think it is the offense, man. The offense just has to come to play early. And it's been an issue for they did come back and tie it up, obviously, but man, it just feels like every time the Tigers fail to put up more than 3 or 4 runs, they are just doomed to lose.
The fact that they're losing a series to the A's in a series in which Scooble pitched kind of tells you they can lose to anybody.
Oh, of course they can. Which anybody can lose to anybody, but
right. But like I'm saying, Scooble, in a playoff series
right.
specifically, it's like
because we've always locked in Game 1 of the playoffs with Scooble on the mound because they win most of the Scooble starts. But
that hasn't been the case this month.
Right.
At least he hasn't picked up the wins. They've won 2 of the games that he's pitched, but
right. Last night, just the 10th game of the season, the Tigers have lost while scoring 5 or more runs. 54-10 on the season when they score 5.
Tough scene. 989-837-6125. Here's the plan for the rest of the hour. Take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to take a trip around the league and do over-unders for the NFC specifically. Tell you what teams we like, what teams we don't. And then when we come back, we're giving away Michigan State tickets, and Jeremy Reisman is going to join us. 989-837-6125. We've got a high standard here at 100.9 The Mitt. Just like Higher Standard Automotive. I mean, the name says it all. Honest, reliable auto repair done the right way the first time. Locally owned and operated, serving Midland with expert service and small-town integrity. From oil changes to brake jobs to diagnostics and major repairs, they handle it all with precision and care. ASE certified techs, fair pricing, and a commitment to doing things the right way because your car deserves better than just good enough. Drive with confidence. Choose Higher Standard Automotive.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Scarlett Mason from Standish Sterling High School. With a 4.3 GPA, Scarlett's a member of the track and field team and a state champion in swimming. Scarlett, a member of the National Honor Society, and PALS, a student support group.
We get qualified, and then we are someone that if a student is uncomfortable talking to an adult, they can come talk to us about what's going on at home or whatever they're struggling with. The biggest thing was it raised mental health awareness, and I think that's huge in high school.
Scarlett will be attending and swimming at Wayne State in the fall. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
Fueled by wonder and powered by science. At Dow, we're imagining better things for our customers and communities. It starts with our commitment to reach carbon neutrality by 2050. Designing, building, and inspiring for the world around us. Because when we wonder, the things our world needs could be just one breakthrough away. That's Dow.
Celebrate the 75th anniversary of a Peanuts Christmas with the Great Lakes Loons on Friday, August 29th. Relive the heartwarming classic in a festive atmosphere filled with nostalgia and holiday cheer. The team will also wear Peanuts-inspired jerseys that fans can bid on during a live online auction. For tickets, head to loons.com. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic? Yeah. We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think the Detroit Lions are going to be worse this season, but still go 12-5 and win the NFC North. I think the Minnesota Vikings are the biggest threat to steal the NFC North from the Detroit Lions. I think we got to taper back our expectations for Bryce Underwood, with him being an 18-year-old freshman and all. I think the lack of aggression from Scott Harris at the MLB trade deadline is going to haunt the Tigers for years to come. And I think you should listen to The Ben Bosscher Show weekdays from 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said. Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
(989-837-6125). If you're here for the ticket giveaway, wait another 15 minutes. We're giving away Michigan State tickets. That's coming up. Before we do that and talk to Jeremy Reisman, let's take a trip around the league.
Man. It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
Okay, Ben. Let's get into it, man. You already teased it before the break. We're doing over-unders for just the NFC teams today.
Yep.
In the NFL. Obviously, NFL starting in about, 10 days?
Oh,
and that's
man.
crazy stuff. We did some NFL division winner picks yesterday, and now we're just going to pick some over-unders. Ready to get into it?
I'm ready.
All right, let's start off alphabetical order here. The Arizona Cardinals, Ben, the over-under for the Cardinals is at 8.5 from Generic Sportsbook with a little bit of juice on the under.
Well, I don't like that Walter Nolan's out, their first-round pick. He's going to be out for at least the first 4 weeks of the season. But the thing about Arizona is they have a completely new offensive line. I'm sorry, defensive line. They got rid of everybody from last year, and it was one of the worst units in the NFL. So them just replacing them with adequate starters should make a world of difference for this Arizona defense. If you believe in the Marv breakout season, which I do, I really do, then take the over on this team.
Yeah.
Take the over on the team. I like the over here, especially if there's juice on the under. Fade the public. When in doubt, fade the public.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I am a fade the public guy, but I don't know, man. 8.5 seems a little high. If this was 7.5, I think that's the better line. 8.5, I think almost feels like lock under to me.
11th easiest schedule in the NFL. Does that do anything for you?
Not really.
And they play in that AFC West where it's like
they could go 9-8.
They could also easily just go 4-2 in that division. And that wouldn't surprise me at all.
I'm going under.
Okay, I'll take the over.
That's my pick.
I like Arizona.
Okay, next one. The Atlanta Falcons over under 7.5.
Oh, there's got to be juice on the over on this one, right? I like Atlanta.
Let me double check here. Yeah, I like Atlanta as well. Minus 135 on the over, plus 115 on the under.
Yeah,
yes.
I'll rock with the public on this one.
But the over 8.5 obviously is at way plus odds. So
all they have to do is get 8 wins for you to hit this. Yeah. Give me the over on this. They have the 4th easiest schedule in the NFL according to forecasted Vegas win totals. I think this team is bound for, I don't know about a leap forward. I don't know how to feel about Raheem Morris. It's one of those coaches where you don't exactly know who they necessarily are at this point, especially defensive-minded guy with a offensive-heavy team. So kind of some question marks there. But I liked what I saw from Penix last year. They've got a good group of weapons. They're going to lean on Bijan. I'll take the over here for sure. They get some free wins in that division against the Panthers and Saints. So, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I honestly think I would go lock, or not lock, but I would go alt over and even go up to 8.5. I think they could go 9-8. I picked them to win the division. So, obviously, that would mean they're going to have a pretty good season. I'm kind of all in on Atlanta as well.
They're banking on their defensive rookies to make a big step, make a big impact this season.
All right, moving on to another team down in that division. The Carolina Panthers over under 6.5.
I really want to believe in Carolina, but I can't take everybody's over, I really...
mean, you can.
No, that's not how that works.
Just be wrong. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'd be right half the time. That might not be the worst strategy.
No, that's not how it really always works.
Look, I really want to believe in Carolina. They get Derek Brown back on the defensive line. They should just be improved in general on the defensive side of the ball. And Bryce Young showed some real signs of life last year, and they got him a real weapon in Ted McMillan. Screw it, man. Let's take the over. Let's do it.
Really?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, wow. That's
7 wins.
crazy.
That's all you have to do.
That's crazy. I think we're a year out from the large improvement from Carolina.
7 wins? That's not large improvement.
6.5 is high, man. This team is a 5-win team. 6 at best.
Let's say a 5-win team last year?
Yeah, but it's just...
You don't think they can get 2 more wins?
No.
Okay.
I do not. They're a year out. They're a year out from being super successful as far as leaping up to that near 500 category. So I'm out on that. All right, let's move to the NFC North. A fun one here. The Chicago Bears, which I believe has fallen now 2 whole wins.
Wow.
It is at 7.5 right now. I'm pretty sure it was at 9.5 like a month or so ago.
Should have taken the under then. Should have done it then. I'll still take the under here. You said it's 7.5?
7.5.
Yeah, I'll take the under. I'm completely out on Chicago. It's horror stories coming out of camp right now. Legitimate horror stories coming out of Chicago. Caleb Williams doesn't really seem to be clicking with this offense. If they're ever going to figure this out, it's certainly not going to be in the first month of the season. Brutal schedule to open things up with Minnesota and the Lions and the Cowboys. That's kind of assuming Parsons is playing, which maybe is not a good assumption at this point. One of the harder schedules in the NFL, top 5 hardest schedule. And I just don't see it with this group right now. If there were better reports coming out of camp, maybe I'd be convinced otherwise. But, man, they just don't seem to be real confident in their guy right now. So I'll take the under.
And it's just like, if I feel really confident in the Vikings, like I've talked about all this time, then that means one of these teams has to be relatively bad, right? So I would go under, but I don't think they go way under. Like, I do think it is a slight. They win 7 games.
Sure, but
it's still under at the end of the day.
Chicago might be one of those teams that, like, just can't beat good teams. They just can't.
Right, yeah. I mean, that absolutely could be the case.
They could go 1-5 in the division, and I don't think anybody would be surprised.
Yeah, I think so, too. All right, so we're both going under there. Let's move on to a team that has the exact same line at 7.5. The Dallas Cowboys. I know Ben's pretty high.
This is all dependent on if Micah plays and if Micah doesn't play. I'm going to assume he's suiting up at some point this year. I'll take the over. They start 0-1 for sure against Philly. But I think if Micah's healthy and CeeDee's healthy and Pickens can, keep his head on straight, this is going to be an awesome offense that can't run the ball, but it's going to air the ball out, put up points. You've got one of the best pass rush duos, and if you get up a certain amount of points on someone and you've got that pass rush in Micah Parsons, it's almost like a cheat code. So I like the Cowboys here to threaten to win the division. Honestly, I secretly like them a little more than Washington. Secretly like them a little more than Washington.
Yeah, I am taking the over here, actually. I am a Dak believer when healthy. I know there's not a lot of people out there that are. I am. Is it a good play to take the over with all this Micah Parsons drama going on? Absolutely not.
Well, maybe it's the perfect time to take the over.
True. That's a good point.
7.5 seems kind of low.
It does seem kind of low. Like, they had a terrible year last year injury-wise, and they still nearly hit this number. So, yeah. All right, here we go, the big one. Your Detroit Lions,
over.
Ben. 10.5 wins, and there's juice on the over. Oh, I can't believe this.
Over. Yeah, they're a better team than they were last year. I don't think they'll win 15 games, but they've got Aiden Hutchinson back.
11? Yeah.
That automatically makes them a better team. I don't care that they have a hard schedule. They had a hard schedule last year, and it worked out for them. I think they run the division again. Beat 5-1 in the division, 4-2 in the division, something along those lines. I'm not scared of Green Bay. I think they're the most overrated team in the league. Vikings are fantastic, but have a rookie quarterback. I wouldn't be surprised if they split with the Vikings. And now they have some motivation against the Bears with Ben Johnson there. I think over, and I'm locking it up.
Yeah, I'm right with you. I mean, the fact that there is juice on the over, I genuinely can't believe that.
Take that. Take them to win the division. Take it all.
I'm doing some alt stuff with that. I mean, that's just the amount of fading that has come with the Lions is getting ridiculous at this point.
We got to fly through some of these.
Yeah. Green Bay Packers, 9.5.
Under. I think they're the most overrated team in the NFL. They don't have very many blue chip, high-end, alpha quality guys outside of Xavier McKinney.
Okay. LA Rams also at 9.5.
You didn't give your pick.
Well, you can just rip through these. That's fine.
Well, just give me something.
I'll go
Green
under.
Bay.
I'll go under with Green Bay.
Rams, what'd you say it was at?
9.5 as well.
If they're healthy, it's over. If they're not, it's under. It really comes down to whether or not Stafford and Akua can stay healthy. I'll bank on it. Let's go over.
I hate to be the same pick as you, but I'm pretty confident in the Rams once again this season, so I'm taking the over.
When he's healthy, they win.
Minnesota also at 9.5.
Over. It's one of the best rosters in football outside of the quarterback, which you can't ignore. But if he's just Brock Purdy from his rookie season, which I have no reason to think he won't be with Kevin O'Connell as their head coach, then they're going to be just fine.
Yeah, popular under pick. There's juice on the over, but I'm right with you. I'm really high on the Vikings this year, so I'm over.
I got to start taking unders, man. I've taken too many overs.
New Orleans Saints.
Oh, there we go. I don't care what it's at. I'll take the under.
1.5. No, I'm
no
kidding.
way.
4.5 wins for the Saints.
Yeah, I'll take the under.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really blame you there. I'll also take it. I mean, no point. New York Giants. Pretty similar line, 5.5.
I think their defensive line is legitimately special, but their strength of schedule is the hardest in the NFL somehow. So I'll go under. Brutal draw for them.
Yeah, it really is. Highest over/under in the NFC, Philadelphia Eagles, 11.5 wins.
I'll go under. Super Bowl hangover's real. It's a real thing.
It is, but I think 12 they still get to. Their roster's just too good to only win 11 games, so I would go over.
Sure.
Okay, last couple here. 2 more. San Francisco 49ers, 10.5 wins.
I'm very hesitant to believe all in on San Francisco this year. There's just a lot of variables. Is Christian McCaffrey going to stay healthy? Who's their wide receiver one? Is Kittle ever going to decline? There's been no signs of that, but kind of have to start imagining it happens at some point. This was one of the worst run defenses in the NFL last season. Now they had Saleh. A lot of X factors, a lot of question marks. It's definitely not a line I would personally be betting on, but they by far have the easiest schedule in the NFL because they finished 4th last year. So let's go under.
How about Tampa Bay at 9.5 wins?
Over.
Really?
Healthiest organization in the NFL, one of them.
Okay. The Washington Commanders, our last team.
Under. I don't
Under
care
no matter
what it is.
what.
Yeah.
9.5 wins for okay.
Oh, yeah. I think they go. I think they
Still
regress
under,
and go
9-8.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
There's just they screwed up in a lot
stuff.
of ways the last 2 years, and now they're paying for it. There's a reason that it took so long to get the Terry contract. There's a reason it took so long to get the Brian Robinson. They didn't even get the deal done with Brian Robinson. They have a lot of regrets in terms of how they built their roster. It's very old, very, very old. 989-837-6125. Those are your NFC over and unders. When we come back, Michigan State tickets, we're giving those away. 4 of them to a lucky winner. Just be ready to text in to 989-837-6125, the key word. And then Jeremy Reisman's going to pop on as well. It's the Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt's Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Terry Johnson, President and CEO of Greater Midland.
And so spending the time at Dow just gave me such experiences professionally, personally, growth, things around travel, just experiences and opportunities that I could have never imagined even when I was in school. And so, taking the time and finalizing, okay, this is the time to tap out at Dow and to look at what's the next adventure in my journey. And Greater Midland has always been part of my journey as well, being part of the board structures for many, many years and knowing that my kids grew up in the center and my husband and I are very active and it's home for me.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At IronStack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronStackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. IronStack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do. Looking for a job can feel like searching for a needle in a haystack. But at Spherion Staffing and Recruiting, they've got the magnet. Whether you're looking for steady work in manufacturing, a fresh start in the office, or the right people to grow your business, they make the match simple. Local recruiters, real relationships, and opportunities that fit you. That's the Spherion difference. Find your perfect fit today. Visit Spherion.com/Midland. Spherion Staffing and Recruiting, where opportunity works. Now, wait a second, Sharon. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5? That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit MidlandFoundation.org and make a gift to our community investment fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at MidlandFoundation.org.
It's your last chance to get to Dow Diamond. The Great Lakes Loons host the West Michigan Whitecaps to close out the 2025 regular season, August 26th through 31st.
It is good!
And the Loons are looking to secure a playoff spot and push for their second Midwest League championship. Tickets start at just $12 at loons.com. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
story of the day. Tim Patrick traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars this morning. Isaac TeSlaa now kind of inserted into that wide receiver 3 spot. So we're bringing on Jeremy Reisman, prideofdetroit.com, to talk about it. Jeremy, before we get started, we're giving away Michigan State tickets right now. 4 tickets to this Friday's game in Spartan Stadium against the Broncos. You want to pick our keyword for our listeners to text into today? Do the honors?
Ooh. I mean, I'm not a Spartan fan, so I'm going to stick with the Lions theme here. Why don't we just go with TeSlaa?
All right, yeah. Text in TeSlaa to 989-837-6125 for a chance to win the 4 tickets. We'll pick a winner here in the next 20 minutes or so. Again, that's TeSlaa to 989-837-6125 for Michigan State tickets for this Friday's game. All right, Jeremy, in the meantime, we got to talk about this Tim Patrick deal. Am I surprised? Yeah, a little bit when I saw that notification, but I wouldn't say I'm totally shocked. This is a receiver who's dealt with a lot of injuries the past couple of years. Stayed healthy last year, but was already dealing with some stuff in camp. I'm sure you can talk a little bit more about that, but also kind of struggled in camp. And in the meantime, Isaac TeSlaa is just raising our expectations. Every time we raise him, he just makes us raise them again and has blown every single expectation we've had of him out of the water. Now feels like they have enough confidence in him to be that wide receiver 3. So jump in wherever, man. This is real exciting news if you're a Lions fan.
Yeah, I think that's the proper way to put it. Obviously, Lions fans grew to really like Tim Patrick, and understandably so. Like, maybe the production numbers weren't crazy last year, but it was kind of how he took on the team. It was the story of him, battling through what were 2 lost seasons to an injury and producing on a level that was meaningful. And the run blocking is something that will endear you to a fan base and certainly endear you to the Lions themselves. But you're right. Like, there is an age aspect to this. He was battling a quad injury in training camp. He didn't look particularly great in training camp. I kind of expected him to turn the corner at some point because this was a tougher training camp than he's used to going through, but that didn't really ever happen. And so I think, the positive spin on it is certainly this shows a tremendous amount of faith in where Isaac TeSlaa is. I don't know if he's starting week 1. I think they certainly like Khalif Raymond a lot, and I think he might get a lot of play in Green Bay, but it certainly seems like they are turning the page quickly on Tim Patrick to Isaac TeSlaa, and that's mostly good news. Now, in terms of compensation, it's not much, right? A 6th-round pick is not a ton, and I guess, if you look, and some other receivers warranted like a 3rd or a 4th-round pick, but you look at Tim Patrick and the risk involved with his injury history. When you look at his age, and given the fact that the Lions didn't need him necessarily, I think it's probably about what you can expect for someone like that. The question just becomes, did you want Tim Patrick as depth, or do you want that future 6th-round pick? That to me is a little up in the air for me. This team has talked about how important depth is and used last year as an example of like, hey, we really need to utilize our depth and make sure we're good on depth. So part of me was leaning keeping Tim Patrick, but I can certainly understand why the Lions made the move that they did.
All right, let's jump into the depth then, because there's only 5 wide receivers on the team right now. There's only 50 spots on the roster being taken up right now. It feels like everyone's just kind of sitting there scratching their head. Za'Darius Smith obviously being the first person everyone points to, but also, why are you down to 50 people then? Do you have any sort of inclination as to what is going to happen here with these 3 extra spots if it's not Za'Darius Smith taking up one of them?
Yeah, I mean, I think the smart money is on. They already have deals in place, or they have guys that they saw were going to be waived or were cut that they had in mind to add. They've already added a safety, a guy who was released, so they're allowed to add him before these waiver wire cuts or things come through. And so you look at that, like you look at the safety move and you're like, okay, well, if they like that guy, they saw that he was cut, maybe that was the reason why you didn't keep a Lauren Strickland or an Eric Hallett. Maybe they were just preemptively making that move. And so you look at where they're thin right now. Defensive end is one where, maybe you have a Za'Darius Smith deal in place. Maybe it's someone else that we're not talking about. Where else are they thin? I mean, maybe you could add another defensive back. Maybe there's another wide receiver. I don't have all the answers. It does look weird from the outside coming in. I mean, we were weirded out last year when they only kept 52 players, and now it's only 50. And so I'm willing to just wait until noon today when some of the waiver wire transactions come through. I'm willing to wait until Thursday until we talk to Brad Holmes, but I I think once we get a clearer picture of what this 53 actually looks like, once it's actually 53, people will probably calm down a little bit.
Are you surprised at all by the timing of this trade, just because it happens after the roster cuts, when a guy that a lot of people liked in training camp in Jackson Meeks gets cut, and maybe if this trade came before the roster cut, then he does save a roster spot there. So is the timing of this move at all interesting to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly, I would say, unconventional. Like, you're right. Like, we saw, probably about a dozen trades happen since Friday up until the roster cuts. This one happens just after. Maybe it just took a while to get the figures right. So, yeah, I would say it's a little weird and maybe raises an eyebrow or two. I don't know if that would have changed things with Jackson Meeks, considering they had all these open spots anyways, but we'll wait and see if he clears waivers, because if he does, I certainly expect him to be back on the practice squad.
How about quarterback? You think they're looking to add a third quarterback to the mix at any point here with one of these roster spots, or as that emergency third string guy? Because I don't know whether or not Hooker's going to be back, even if he does clear waivers. It kind of feels like no, based on some of the quotes Dan Campbell had the past week of him needing a change of scenery. So do you think they look elsewhere and try to add a third quarterback?
Yeah, no doubt. I don't like you said, I don't know if that is a practice squad player or a guy on the 53, but the Lions have certainly expressed in the past the importance of having an emergency third quarterback. And if you want to utilize it on game day, they actually have to be on the 53. So it wouldn't completely shock me if one of those 3 open spots goes to a quarterback. I don't really have a sense on who that would be. A lot of familiar names are out there after roster cuts. So maybe it is one of those players. Maybe it's a guy that they add to the practice squad at first, have him get used to the offense a little bit, and then maybe eventually put him on the 53 later in the season. But I would fully expect them to add a quarterback, whether it is on the practice squad or the 53 in the next, I would assume, 24 hours here.
Dan Skipper ends up getting cut, and I think, me and, I don't know, maybe you shared the exact same thoughts as I did, is like, okay, this has to be some sort of roster gymnastics to try to get him back and save an IR spot or something along those lines. I'm sure you've got a better understanding of it than I do. But the more we get removed from him getting cut, it kind of just seems like DeMarco Jones is just the offensive tackle 3, and Dan Skipper's not going to be back.
Yeah.
Am I right about that?
That's my read on the situation. And honestly, that was kind of where I was leaning when the news happened. Certainly with the way that Justin Rogers was reporting, it seemed like that is what happened. I knew for a fact that they were very interested in JaMarco Jones and like kind of had an extra eye on him this training camp. I didn't quite see him like decisively beat out, win that OT3 spot necessarily. Obviously didn't even play in the final preseason game. And at the time we weren't sure if that was injury related or saving him related or a combination of the both. Might still be a combination of the both. I'm not entirely sure. I wouldn't be surprised if Dan Skipper is back. They certainly like him in jumbo packages. They certainly like the grittiness that he brings. But I think if he is back, it's going to be on the practice squad. I think they like JaMarco Jones enough where, he is a veteran. He's a guy who's started 6 or so games. So it's not completely surprising to me, but obviously it was surprising enough for me to have not projected it on my own 53-man roster. So a little bit of a surprise, but, Dan Skipper did struggle in training camp. That much was clear. I just thought JaMarco Jones was also struggling.
Are there any other major surprises as far as that the Lions made roster cut wise that maybe you had thought they were going to do something else that ended up not going the same way?
I mean, I think the most surprising things were Dan Skipper and then just 8 defensive backs. Now that has already been explained a little bit by adding the player that they did, whose name is already escaping me. But yeah, I mean, just the 50 players completely, like cutting all the way down to 50 instead of 53 is unconventional. I'm very eager to hear what Brad Holmes has to say about it. Because yeah, like I'm with everyone else. If you don't have to expose some of these players to the waiver wire, why would you? I assume we'll have an answer mostly by the Lions transactions and how that all plays out. But it's just, when you spend months building your own 53 and then turns out it's a 50-man roster that you should have been building, it's a little bit of a shock to the system. But at the same time, you remember that final preseason game. You look at all those guys that were on the roster bubble. I'm not sure a lot of them made that great of a case for themselves towards the end of training camp, towards the end of the preseason. So it's not completely surprising, but at the same time, if they want a handful of those guys back on the practice squad, which I imagine they do, it is a little interesting that they decided not to keep them on the initial 53 and then maybe cut them later if they found an upgrade on waivers.
Specifically, the weird one is Hassanin, right? Like,
yeah,
why put him on waiver wire, or like it's the injury settlement? So correct me if I'm wrong, but he's got the injury settlement as long as it takes to recover, and then an additional 3 weeks, and then he can just sign anywhere. Like, why expose him to that?
Well, I mean, it even starts earlier than that. He does go through waivers now. So there is a chance that a team could claim an injured player. It doesn't happen very often, and I would say it's probably not likely to happen because you'd probably have to carry him on your 53 initially, and to carry an injured player on your 53 that you don't know anything about is a little odd. But after that, yeah. So it would be the length of his injury settlement, which we don't know. That never is really made public. But let's say to 2 months injury. They say, we're going to pay you for 8 weeks. After those 8 weeks, that player can sign anywhere. After an additional 3 weeks, that player can sign back with the Lions. Now, a lot of the Lions have done this twice in the last 2 years, kind of like a, under the table agreement, like, hey, we're going to bring you back after the injury settlement. Just don't sign anywhere else. And kind of, an under the table handshake deal. They did it with Maurice Norris last year. I think it was CJ Moore the year before that. So that could be what's going on there. Maybe the Lions are moving on, and I think that's unlikely. But I think the main takeaway I have from it, because one of the clearer options that I think we thought they were all going to take was to put him on an IR to return. The Lions get 2 of those spots so that they don't have to do what they did in previous years, which is make the 53-man roster and then put on IR. They could actually put him on IR during roster cuts, and he would be eligible to return. The reason maybe why they didn't do that is because for the entire season, you have 8 IR to return spots for the entire year. And the Lions used every single one of those last year. So maybe they're in like, hey, let's not burn any of these early on. We might need them later in the season. Like, that might be their thinking. But again, this is just speculation on my part until we hear from Holmes himself. And so I am interested to see if that was the thinking, or if maybe the Lions were ready to move on from Hassanin. Like I said, I think that is unlikely to be the case, but there's a risk for waiving him nonetheless.
Well, we'll cross our fingers, hope nobody else claims him with the waiver wire. Should be announced around noon today. Jeremy Reisman, prideofdetroit.com. Stay updated on all of the latest roster moves on the website. Always appreciate you coming on. Always good catching up with you.
Yeah, no problem, Ben.
All right, there he goes. Once again, prideofdetroit.com. That's Jeremy Reisman. We've still got our our Michigan State ticket giveaway. Text in TeSlaa to 989-837-6125 for a chance to win Spartan tickets. Again, that is TeSlaa, with him being the news of the day, for a chance to win Spartan tickets for this Friday's game against Western. You've got about 5 more minutes to send in those messages. 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time to remember that.
Do you remember?
With Kyle Sandel.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau Agent, located downtown Midland. All right, so with week 1 of college football this weekend, we're going to continue to talk about Michigan and Michigan State, but I want to dive into a little bit of Sharon Moore discussion today. Had his opening press conference ahead of their week 1 matchup with New Mexico yesterday. We've talked about all this pressure on Bryce Underwood and how he is the most intriguing player probably in the Big Ten this season, just as far as what are we going to get from this guy, because we haven't seen him play yet, and all the hype that comes with Bryce Underwood. It makes you think that is that same type of pressure on Sharon Moore. Anytime that you follow up a national championship with a quote-unquote down year a season ago, I know you beat Ohio State, but still, you should be expected to jump right back up into that national championship contention the following year, especially for a program and a university like Michigan that has high expectations. So when you ask the question of who's under more pressure this year, Bryce Underwood or Sharon Moore, immediately you think Bryce Underwood because of the pay tag, everything they did to get him this offseason. But at the end of the day, Bryce Underwood's just going to be back next year as a sophomore and the following year as a junior and improve each offseason. If things don't go extremely well this season, what's the big deal? Michigan will just probably be better in the following years. Whereas for Sharon Moore, that would be back-to-back seasons, his first 2 years as head coach following the national championship under Jim Harbaugh, of disappointing years. I think Sharon Moore might be under more pressure than Bryce Underwood in 2025. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau Agent, located downtown Midland.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
Hey, did you guys catch anything yet?
Not a thing.
Ah, bummer, neither have we. I'm actually just about to head into town. I'm gonna go into Higher Standards Automotive. They got this award-winning service department with amazing technicians and this large parts department in case I want to fix it myself. They got the part there.
Whatever.
No, I'm serious, man. It's out there.
Yeah, just like when you tried to convince me Bigfoot was real.
Ray?
Bigfoot's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, we gotta run. Get out! Stop into Higher Standards Automotive, North Eastman Road in Midland, right past the mall.
Since 2007, the Michigan Baseball Foundation has invested over $1.8 million into our communities, supporting over 350 projects across 14 Michigan counties. From restoring Alma Little League fields to creating nature-based classrooms at the Chippewa Nature Center and enhancing accessibility at the middle of the Mitt Miracle Field, MBF is making a real difference. Every ticket to a Great Lakes Loons game helps fund these initiatives. Join us in building a stronger, more vibrant community. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
Get in the game, the Gamers Game, with the Great Lakes Loons on Saturday, August 30th, presented by the Field of Frames Festival in Dow. The Gamers Game is where esports and baseball collide. Plus, don't miss the final fireworks loontacular of the season after the game, thanks to Farm Bureau Insurance. And the first 1,000 fans receive a Loons hat, courtesy of Fidelity Investments. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
Every Wednesday on 100.9 The Mitt on the Ben Bosscher Show, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
For the next 3 weeks, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, we are going to be sending someone to the Michigan State Spartans games for their matchups against Western Michigan, Boston College, and Youngstown State. All you have to do is be listening to the show at 10:15 and listen for that keyword to text in. Big Win Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet.
You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Michigan for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, 989-837-6125. We have reached out to our winner, and they have responded. Congratulations to Zach from Bay City. You going to Spartan Stadium this Friday. You and 3 friends or 3 family members or 3 something. You're getting 4 tickets to the Spartans game. We're doing that again next week. We're doing that again the following week. First 3 weeks of the Michigan State season, we're sending people to the game. So once again, congratulations to Zach from Bay City. We'll text you more details about how to get the tickets shortly. All right, Kyle. Pretty tough loss for the Tigers yesterday, but not as annoying as the news that Alex Cobb is probably just not ever going to pitch for the Tigers. I'd be pretty shocked at this point if he put on a Tigers uniform, and it's been trending that way for a while, but them taking him out of the rehab assignment yesterday all but wraps up he's not playing for the Tigers again this year.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is just genuinely one of the most frustrating things I think that has happened to the Tigers in some years, and they have not been good in some years prior to last season. I just don't understand. Like, how can you, like, we talk about bad contracts, and there can't be a bad one-year contract and everything.
Oh, yes, there can.
When the guy legitimately never plays all season in the longest season there is in sports, like, I can't believe this, dude. How has he not been able to come back and play? I mean, he's gone on 3 or 4 different rehab assignments at this point. He made it all the way up to AAA, and things were actually looking good, where there was some signs that he actually might get back to the major leagues. He's pitching without pain. That's been the big thing for him, is pitching through all this pain. Clearly, he's not 100% and not fully back to get ready to pitching, so I honestly can't believe it.
It's less concerning that they couldn't bring him in, and more concerning that, like, again, it's not our money and there's no salary cap, but what on earth made Scott Harris think this guy was worth $15 million? He was going to retire. He's come out and said that. And then someone plopped $15 million on the table, and he's like, okay, I'll give it one more run. And that run turned into 3 steps, and he completely fell apart. I have a hard time believing any other team was willing to give him anything north of $5 million to pitch for him, let alone 15, because he played 3 games last year for Cleveland. 3, because he was always hurt.
3 would have been better than 0, though.
Right.
And it's like, I do understand the argument of, well, would you rather have paid Alex Cobb $15 million to not play or paid Justin Verlander $15 million to pitch bad? You know, like, I get that that argument, but, like, we never even get that option.
Yeah, right.
Because that was always the debate. It was like, well, why didn't you just bring in Verlander? It makes more sense, reunion, this and that. He straight up was not a good pitcher this year. But Alex Cobb, I mean, there's not he at least pitched, you know, like he had the opportunity to maybe be good. So I don't know. It's quite frustrating, especially because we've been under the assumption that he's not going to come back, and then over the last like 2 or 3 weeks, I kind of have shifted that to, okay, he might actually at least be something come September and playoff time, where if he can just give a couple innings out of the bullpen, like it's a switch up. It's something that they haven't gotten to offer yet this year. And now that's just completely down the drain.
I'd put the odds of him playing at like 15-1. Like it just seems very, very likely he never puts on a Tigers uniform this again. And he retires after this season and absolutely robs the Ilitch family of $15 million. Like legitimately robs them to the point where I'm wondering, does this guy have dirt on Scott Harris? He robbed them. He robbed the Tigers of $15 million. Be one thing if this was a $5 million contract. No, $15 million. Generational money.
Second highest paid pitcher on the team. A team that has the Cy Young on it, by the way.
And he's not going to pitch a single. It's like, it's funny. That's like where I'm at on this. It's actually funny,
Is it funny
that they gave him that much money. He must have some dirt on this team or something. He robbed him. Robbed them of that money.
Like you said, It would have made more sense if he had played a full season last year and looked pretty good, and then they signed him, and then he dealt with this injury after the signing. And it's like, dang, that sucks that it worked out that way. But coming into it, you knew he pitched 3 games last year and was old already. So it's obviously just super unfortunate for both. I mean, it sucks for him, too. I bet he wants to pitch probably. He's been pitching through the pain and everything. Like, he's been trying to get back. I mean, it's not like he doesn't want to play. It just sucks
I
for
think
everyone
he's
involved.
at the point now where if I had to guess, I don't know the guy, but if I was like taking off a rehab assignment for the 3rd time and there was 1 month left in the season, I'd be like, all right, I'm done. I'm all good. I'll take the money and go home, hang out with my family the rest of.
I mean, he
my
might
life.
as well retire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he was going to retire last season, and then Scott Harris said, "I will give you $15 million to not," and he said, "Sure, why not?" Crazy to me. 989-837-6125. Shout out to Zach for winning the tickets for the Michigan State game. That is Friday. We are just a couple of days removed from college football being back in our lives. 11 o'clock hour on the way. A lot of good stuff, including our 2 traditions to close out every show. It's the Ben Bosscher Show, live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Leaky gutters?
No problem.
Shabby shingles?
We got this.
Remodeling?
Yup, that too.
Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair, your roof, gutter, and remodeling experts.
Any job, anywhere. Bresky can do it all.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today for all your roofing and gutter needs.
Call my dad, 989-529-8167.
At First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, floors don't just get coated, they get a makeover. Epoxy's so tough, it shrugs off spills, stains, and even your wildest dance moves. Garages, workshops, anywhere you want a floor that's smooth, shiny, and just a little bit sassy, they handle it all with style. No more boring floors. Get ready to impress everyone who walks through the door. Slide into durability and flair. First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, where your floors get the VIP treatment they didn't know they needed.
The new rebranded Matt Smith Modern Realty.
Well, Matt Smith Outdoors was really reflective of how I started my real estate journey, taking my outdoor experience, moving that into the real estate space to help people buy and sell land. So many people in this region ended up calling me and wanting me to work with them to help them buy and sell homes. This new brand was more reflective of what I'm delivering to people in this region every day.
Discover championship golf with amazing views at Apple Mountain in Freeland. Whether you're chasing birdies or just out for a relaxing round, Apple Mountain offers a stunning 18-hole experience for every skill level. Perfect greens, scenic fairways, and a course that plays as beautifully as it looks. Book your tee time now at applemountain.com. Apple Mountain. Golf elevated. Just minutes from Saginaw, but miles from the ordinary.
When the summer heat is on, keep your cool with Answer Heating and Cooling. Our expert team specializes in fast, reliable air conditioning repairs, installations, and maintenance. Stay comfortable all season long with top-notch cooling solutions and simply outstanding service. Plus, with financing options and special rebates, cooling your home has never been more affordable. Answer Heating and Cooling, where comfort is our priority. Try our new schedule online option or call us today.
We can't see tomorrow, but we can hear it. And it sounds like peace of mind, knowing our lakes will be better protected by placing Line 5 in the Great Lakes Tunnel. And that we've added extra safety measures while we work to build it, because we're committed to keeping the Great Lakes safe for generations to come. Tomorrow is on. Visit enbridge.com/line5 for more information. Enbridge. Life takes energy.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Hour number 3. Let's get rocking and rolling here on the Ben Bosscher Show. We'll circle back around to the Isaac TeSlaa, Tim Patrick conversation that's been going on. But let's revisit the Tigers game from last night. Because, look, they're in first place. I'm not going to sit here and pound my fist and say this team is pissing me off. But the defensive errors are pissing me off. Cole Keith was brain dead yesterday at third base. And Zach McKinstry has been very bad defensively, if I'm being nice, for the last 2 days. I don't know what's in the water out in... I don't know where this team plays. Homeless. Yeah, they're homeless. But the Tigers forgot how to play defense. It's very frustrating. It's one of the worst ways you can lose baseball games. It's just bad defense, even though your offense is scoring runs and your relievers are fine yesterday. Troy Mellon comes in as dominant again. Morton didn't have the best outing, but it was the defense's fault that they lost these last 2 games.
Especially when one of the ones you lose are with Tarek Skubal on the mound. And I know that obviously it's old news at this point, but there's a reason that Skubal only has the 1 earned tag to him, and all those still gives up all those runs because the defense allowed that stuff to happen. That game last night, I mean, it felt like stuff was about to get out of hand again. Once that ball dropped in front of Colt Keith, I was legitimately like, oh my goodness.
Which time?
Well, the second time, like right before the double play happened.
That's the joke I'm making, though, because it happened twice. There was a pop-up to third base, and Colt Keith, on 2 different occasions, just brain fart.
And the McKinstry error happening right before the second time, too, so it was back-to-back plays of just, guys, what are we doing here? I understand, and this takes you back to what we were talking about earlier. They still have the best record in the American League. They still have as best a chance as anybody to go to a World Series, and I think that should make all Tigers fans happy, and that should make you and I happy because they haven't been in that situation since you and I were, yay high. But you look at the teams across the American League, which ones do you feel good against? None of them, And so it's some of these plays when you watch them happen, you just immediately take yourself to a month in advance, a month and a half in the future, and you're like, man, if this happens against Seattle, if this happens against Toronto, whatever, insert American League playoff team, you're for sure losing if you're losing this way to the A's. So it's very frustrating when stuff like that happens. It's different if you just lose in a way where a pitcher just has a really good outing, the bats really can't get it going, or you lose a close game and there wasn't a ton of mistakes. But when the mistakes continue to happen on back-to-back days with a good pitching performance from Skubal, the bats actually did come to play in both games, I would say, relatively. I mean, maybe not game 1, but I don't know. It's just frustrating.
They flat out did not deserve to win either of these 2 games. They just didn't. They made way too many mistakes for there to even be an argument of it's baseball, weird stuff just happens. No, they were the worst team both times, which is crazy to say when you're comparing a team 10 games under 500 and a team in first place in the American League, but that's the exact circumstance the Tigers have found themselves in for 2 games in a row with these defensive errors. I don't know if it's a take the foot off the gas thing because you're in first place and have a comfortable lead in the American League Central, but that kind of stuff it's got to get cleaned up. We can't have that the rest of the season, and especially in the playoffs. And look, I really think once they do get into the postseason, there's got to be a break glass in case of emergency situation with Zach McKinstry as shortstop. I just don't want him there. I just don't trust him there. He's a versatile defender, can play anywhere, but shortstop is clearly where he sticks out as you're really not that great of a defender there. He's fine at third base. Cole Keith, not really fine at third base, but I said Cole Keith not really fine at third base after the last 2 days. But yeah, it's not somewhere I feel super comfortable with him, which leads you to all right, so is Javi Baez and Trey Sweeney kind of the guys that are playing there? Is Trey Sweeney even?
No way Trey Sweeney's on the playoff roster.
Be on the playoff? Yeah, and then it's
no shot.
What's the alternative?
Parker Meadows coming back.
Oh, no. I was going to say Mr.
But
McGonigal.
We got to stop doing that, though, because it's not going to happen, right? At some point, that conversation needs to end when we were literally specifically told it's not going to happen by the guy who's in charge of it.
Yeah, but I'd like to think that we have enough power to voice our opinions loud enough to where they hear us. But I'm probably delusional about that part of it.
Yeah, I would say so. When the guy who actually makes the decision says no, it's kind of crazy to think that maybe he won't say no, though.
I just don't get it because every day that goes by, it becomes more and more like evident to why they should give him a chance here in September.
I think they should give him a chance in AAA. I do agree with that. But I think
that's all I'm asking.
Yeah,
for.
okay, then I just I'm more of a pump the brakes on the like, let's get him on the playoff roster, like Tigers playoff roster. I'm a little bit more pump the brakes on that.
I just want to see him in AAA, and if he can stay hot there, then like I don't know, last 2 weeks of the season, who cares?
Right.
Get him some ABs, and if he's red hot and is helping the team, then why not? Like, what's the difference between having Trey Sweeney and Kevin McGonigal on this roster? Is he really going to be worse than Trey Sweeney?
No, but it's just like, I don't know. I feel like
is he going to give you better at bats than Javi?
Like McGonigal, it's just, I think he hits the ground running as the starting shortstop in 2026. You know, and I once again, I hate to do this whole they're looking towards the future thing, because they have a really good baseball team right here in front of our eyes in 2025. But it's a lot to put on McGonigal as far as the way that they handled Torkelson and Riley Green, both coming up at the beginning of their season and starting off as true rookies for the opening day. I would expect they do the same with Kevin McGonigal. Despite him obviously raking, you know, like he still is the best hitting prospect in baseball. There's no doubt about that.
I know we have to give it up because Greenberg said it's not going to happen, but I feel like I make a pretty compelling case. I think he'd give better at-bats than Javi. I think he'd be a better defenseman than Trey Sweeney or Zach McKinstry at that position. Is that naive of me to say? Maybe, but there's also a reason he's the number one prospect in all of baseball. I just think it's so obvious that he should at least get a small shot. And if he doesn't have any success in 2 weeks with the team, then fine.
Yeah.
He doesn't make the playoff roster. But
And at the end of the day, too, I do think it is important to note, like, missed a good chunk of 2025 due to injury. Like, has only played right around 30-plus games for both West Michigan and Erie. Hasn't really played a ton of games
like
this
60
season in
total?
general. Yeah, like, it's not really a lot, you know? So it's for him to get worked up through the system this fast, also while not playing a ton of games. I'm not saying that, like, the injury has hindered him by any means, because clearly it hasn't. But with these young guys, I mean, you really want them to spend – it'd be different if he spent most of the season with West Michigan and then it's gone to double A and done this. But just hasn't even played in a humongous sample of games already this season.
I'm going to shift gears here. You want to hear something crazy?
Crazy?
Yeah.
Sure.
Guess who just came in as the 15th ranked player in the NFL Top 100? You know, the thing that they released 2 a day for the last, like, 30,
yeah, I just totally
60
forgot
days.
what number we were on.
Yeah, because they were stupid, and instead of releasing it 10 at a time for 2 weeks, they did 2 at a time for 10 weeks. You know who's number 15? Just got announced a few minutes ago.
I would assume it's a Lion, so I'll go with Aiden Hutchinson.
Mm-mm.
Oh, no, he was injured last year. They usually don't do the injured guys. Is it a Lion?
Yeah.
Gibbs?
Nope.
No, Gibbs already got his.
15th best player in the entire NFL.
Oh, is it Penei Sewell?
Nope.
I was about to say, if they have him that low. St. Brown?
Nope.
Oh, my God. Don't tell me it's Jared Goff.
Jared Goff, the 15th best player in the NFL.
What?
That's insane to me.
Oh my
I'm not here to give
God.
any Jared Goff slander, but putting him 15 seems nothing short of outrageous.
Man, how many quarterbacks are going to be above him?
Well, I don't think we've seen Mahomes. I don't think we've seen Burrow. I don't
assume
think we've
not.
seen
Allen,
Lamar.
Daniels. Yeah, maybe Daniels.
I
don't know. I haven't
know
keeping
if
up with
we've
this
seen
list because the way they put it out is stupid.
Extremely stupid.
Yeah.
Most, like, every single year that this list comes out, I just can't get behind any of it. It just ends up being really dumb. And look, I'm not trying to be a Lions hater,
Shout out to
but
Goff, man. He's about to be the second highest Lion on the list. Is he the second best player on the Lions?
no.
Right.
I don't even think he's one of the 6 best players on the Lions. Does that make me a hater?
That's rough.
Do you?
No.
In terms of importance, obviously, he's like 1 or 2 with Hutch. But in terms of just like the best overall player, I'd rather have Sewell, or like if I'm ranking them, Sewell, Branch, Amon-Ra,
Gibbs.
Did I already say Hutch?
No, you didn't say Hutch.
Hutch.
Yeah, that's top 5.
Brian Branch, did I already say that?
Yeah, you said him. And then you do take Goff over like the likes of Kirby and
Laporta.
J-Mo and Laporta.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know, 15 just seems crazy to me.
It is. That is definitely crazy.
I'll take it, though. Hey, it's voted on by the players. Maybe the players just really appreciate, like, this guy's not very athletic at all and still manages to slice us apart. I'd imagine defenders really respect him. like secondary guys.
Yeah, I would think so.
Like it's really hard for us
Hopefully.
to cover our guys because we don't really know what he's gonna like. He always hits the open guy. I'd imagine he's a guy that defensive coordinators really respect, or maybe not. Bill Belichick certainly didn't. That was a long time ago. 989-837-6125. There's no one new on the Lions, but they did make a trade. Sent away Tim Patrick, Isaac TeSlaa. Stock is rising. Hope you bought some TeSlaa stock. 989-837-6125. Summer's almost over, but your gardening needs are at an all-time high. Midland's go-to spot for all of it is Maple Hill Nursery. From vibrant flowers and shrubs to trees and seasonal plants, they've got the success you need to get your garden covered. Expert advice from local growers who care about your success as much as you do. Quality plants, quality soil, and all the tools you need to make your yard bloom. Stop by Maple Hill Nursery to get inspired or grow something beautiful this season. Find them right here in Midland, your garden's new best friend.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Terry Johnson, President and CEO of Greater Midland.
What faced the most challenges for you? Like, is there a certain role that you were like, public, I know you said public affairs, but there was a certain time period or maybe even a certain event where you're like, okay, this is a challenge I can now take with me throughout my entire career, or any advice that you have for like young professionals that you learned maybe from like a certain lesson?
Yeah, two things come to mind. One, for a period of my Dow career, I managed crisis communications. So nothing's more challenging or a better learning opportunity is when you're kind of feet in the fire, when there's things going on.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Great Lakes returned home for their final homestand of the 2025 season last night, facing off against the top team in all the Midwest League, the West Michigan Whitecaps. And it was a tight, low-scoring game, and unfortunately, the Whitecaps defeated the Loons 2-1. Brooks Auger had a good outing, going 5 1/3, striking out 4, just allowing 1 run. And the lone run driven in for Great Lakes came from Zaire Hope, his 70th of the year.
Payoff. Hope swings, ground ball, hit to the left side, and sneaks through. Past the diving effort of Haiti. Hope's 70th ribby ties us at 1 here in the 6th.
West Michigan would answer immediately in the top half of the 7th inning, supplying another run, and that would be the final score as they took it 2-1. Great Lakes trails Lake County by a 1.5 games for that final playoff spot in the East Division. So these next 5 games at Dow Diamond are very important for the Loons' postseason opportunity. They're right back at it with the Whitecaps tonight at 7:05, pregame at 6:50 here on the Mitt.
Detours driving you bonkers? Ideal Party Store's got your back with a Detour discount. While the Lafayette Bridge is closed, enjoy 10% off select craft beer 6-packs and 10% off 4 bottles of select wine, 750 milliliters or more, with 2 great locations, 908 North Johnson on the east side and 401 Salzburg on the west side. Ideal Party Store makes every detour worth it. Serving Bay City since 1934, we're here to make you the life of the party.
It's your last chance to get to Dow Diamond. The Great Lakes Loons host the West Michigan Whitecaps to close out the 2025 regular season, August 26th through 31st.
It is good!
And the Loons are looking to secure a playoff spot and push for their 2nd Midwest League championship. Tickets start at just $12 at loons.com. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
When it comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
My son, Ricky, took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me, and I contemplated suicide. My grandson, I was gonna have to be here for him. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe.
Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
(989-837-6125). I want to thank Jeremy Reisman for coming on. If you missed that, you can go back and listen. Rewind right now on YouTube. After the show ends, you can search audio only wherever you get your podcasts, whether it's Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Or you can do it right now on YouTube. Just go to our YouTube page, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It has been awesome to watch that number grow. We're trying to get to 360 by the end of the week. So if you like the show and you're new here, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We'd appreciate it. With that being said, Isaac TeSlaa, man. You're buying all the stock you can, right? We kind of already have.
See, I think you can't at this point.
I'll buy more. I really will. I'll buy it all.
Or do I sell it all?
That would be crazy. I don't advise that. But now would be a good time to sell and then just buy again later. But
right.
At that point, just hold on to it.
No, at that point, you just hold on to it because, like Jeremy said, I mean, I think there still is a very realistic world where Khalif Raymond still gets a ton of work early on, just in unique packages and everything, because they still like to utilize him a ton, and I like seeing him out on the field. But the fact that Tim Patrick isn't in the picture just opens things up tremendously for Isaac TeSlaa.
I mean, he brings a skill set that hasn't really existed on the Lions in a long time. Like I said, he was 4 out of 5 contested catches in the preseason. Tim Patrick, all of last year, was 1 for 3. He only had 3 opportunities to even catch a contested catch. And does that mean he was wide open all the time? No, not really. It just means Jared Goff wasn't going to give him a chance to go win 50-50 balls, even if it was the contested catch that Amon-Ra wins, where it's coming back to the ball and you got a guy on your back. He just didn't really have those opportunities because if he was blanketed by a defender in any way, I don't think Goff trusted him enough to create separation right at the end of his route. It might not matter with TeSlaa if he's creating separation or not because he's going up and mossing everyone. I heard someone call him Mayotron. I thought that was pretty funny.
I still like Cold Slaw.
Cold Slaw is good. That's probably the one to go with, right?
Yeah.
But Mayotron made me laugh. No?
It's okay. It's decent. I don't like mayo.
But you like coleslaw, don't you?
Coleslaw? Yeah, I do like coleslaw, but it can't be too mayo-y.
Okay. Good to know. But yeah, I am very interested to see how he works himself into the lineup in week 1. I'm also very curious to see when on earth Za'Darius Smith is going to be on this team. I'm also very curious to see with the 2 roster spots that they have outside of signing Za'Darius Smith. There's 50 guys on the roster right now. You think Smith is taking up 1. The other 2 spots, gotta wait for people to clear waivers at noon today. But also, you gotta just call Frank Ragnow, right? Hey, any chance you want to sit here? Any chance you want to hop on the team? You don't even have to go through training camp. Just be ready to play on 2 weeks from Sunday or a week from Sunday. You gotta at least call him, right?
I guess. But, there's no way. There's legitimately no way. The guy loves fishing too much.
He does.
And I just think that the way that he went out, it was very clear that this had been looming for years. And he kind of had maxed it out as far as dealing with the pain that he's had to go through with the turf toe hurting him for years on years at that point.
He might turn you down, but if you're Brad Holmes, just give him a call. Just give him a call. Hey, how's it going? What's going on? Do you want to play football again? All right, no, that's fine.
Who knows? I mean, like you said, we've seen this before. It's happened plenty of time.
People just can't stay away from the game sometimes.
Yeah.
And Ragnow,
Jason Kelsey himself did it 2 years ago,
And Ragnow doesn't really seem like the kind of person to do it.
Because it's kind of an attention grab to do it,
It does. And it also feels like it was hard enough.
Exactly.
To hang it up in the first place for him. But come on, you got to, all I'm asking for you is to call and double check. That's what it is. It's not even a request. It's a double check that he still doesn't want to play.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Okay, so out of the roster spots that the Lions need to fill, obviously we know edge rusher is like a most important thing. They only have 3 of them on the roster. One of them is Marcus Davenport, who's extremely injury prone. The 2 other position groups, where do you think they come from? If they are to fill all 3 spots, let's just say hypothetically.
Wide receiver, quarterback.
You think so?
Yeah, they got to add a quarterback somehow. Like there's an importance to having that third quarterback on the roster. I would say go ask Kyle McCord what he's doing. He's got waived by Philly. He was picking this year's draft. See a 7th rounder, or did he go UDFA? Either way.
Pretty sure UDFA.
Either way, go ask. Go see what's going on. Hey, want to come play for the Lions? Want to come sit on our practice squad? Sure. It feels like Kyle Allen's like actually. I guess I don't actually know if Kyle Allen's good or if he just looked like Joe Montana playing next to Hendon Hooker for 3 straight weeks.
That's a really good point.
4 straight weeks.
Well, the good news about Kyle Allen is he's actually played in real NFL games. Like, he has started games in the league. Not saying he's obviously wasn't good enough to continue to be a starter, but that's just important to have that rather than a Kyle McCord, where obviously it's just all based off of his college tape, has never played in the NFL.
Yeah, well, but you can have both of those guys.
Well, yeah.
I think you need to have a third quarterback. So a quarterback would be my other one, and then a receiver. They only have 5 on the roster right now. If one goes down, like you're in pretty good need of a receiver pretty quickly. Unless my only explanation as to not adding another one would be like they're legitimately going to work Gibbs in the slot, the way that CMC works in the slot, which would make him the fantasy cheat code for this season. Like, you have him, you win.
Yes, it would, and that makes me almost want to reconsider my draft thoughts, you just bringing that up. No, but even, like, but also that...
You have any regrets right now?
That takes away, though, like, Khalif Raymond opportunities, right? And to me, them waiving, like, them making this move almost makes me think that they want to involve Khalif Raymond even more, or at least they trust him more, too. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not just a TeSlaa thing. They only have 5 receivers on the squad.
I actually disagree. I don't think this really has anything to do with Khalif Raymond.
Okay.
Khalif Raymond. I think this was a TeSlaa kind of getting in the way of Tim Patrick and then basically going to Tim Patrick and saying, we're giving the wide receiver 3 spot to him. And then him and the Lions, like, if he's the one that was like, you got to get me somewhere where I can play. I want to play. And the Lions did him a favor.
You would assume that's how it went because if it wasn't, then he'd probably still be on the team, right? I mean, you would still want to keep.
That's what I'm saying.
You would want to keep Tim Patrick around, whether or not TeSlaa won the job over him or not.
In my mind, that's how it worked, and I have nothing to.
I mean, it makes sense. You know, late in his career, Tim Patrick probably wants to play.
Also,
while
was
he's
just
healthy.
awesome for the Lions last year.
Yeah.
Like, Lions, really well respected organization to work with from a player standpoint, doing them a favor. Like, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Too
and
good
honestly,
to get waived. Like,
well, he wouldn't have even got waived; just would have gotten released.
To cut, yeah, whatever.
That and if you can get a 6th-round pick for him, why not?
Right.
That makes me think, like, I don't know. In my head, it's just like, yeah, the 2 sides like shook hands, hugged each other, and walked separate ways.
So do I get the TeSlaa jersey? That's the next question. When is it too early to get the TeSlaa jersey?
I think it's a little too early to get the TeSlaa jersey.
Like week 2, though? Week 3?
How many Lions jerseys you got, man?
Not like a ton, like 4 or 5. I only have 2 current player jerseys.
J-Mo and Gibbs?
J-Mo and St. Brown. But then I have
TeSlaa being the next one.
Oh, I have the receivers.
You could
jerseys.
have all the
receivers.
That. Yeah.
Oh,
that
the one I've been wanting to get
think...
is the Branch one. Like, I want a Branch one just because you don't see a ton of Brian Branch jerseys. So that's kind of been the one that I wanted to get. But
I got my Sewell one, and I think I'm good. If I was gonna get another one too, it'd be Hutch. I want the big fellas.
Everyone's got the Hutch jersey, you know.
Everybody's got the Hutch jersey. I don't see a lot of Penei Sewell jerseys, but anyone I do see in a Penei Sewell jersey, you know they're a Lion. Like, you know they're a diehard Lions.
Of course,
fan.
yeah. I mean, it's the offensive line jersey is like, that's a statement.
The Lions gotta lead the league in lineman jerseys because I see a lot of Ragnow ones
too.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, Ragnow was like the longest tenured Lion. Like, there's probably some Decker jerseys, I bet, just from how long he's been on the Lions.
I don't see a lot of McNeil ones.
No.
That'd be the other
understandable.
One. Yeah, if you're gonna get a defensive lineman, just get Hutch.
Right.
But yeah, there's no way any team sells more offensive line jerseys than the Lions. Anyway, 989-837-6125. We've got 2 traditions to close out every show if you're new here on the Ben Bosscher Show. The first of those is our lock of the day. The second of those is predicting what Colin Cowherd opens with because he takes over our airwaves here at noon. But before we get to any of that, we got to hit the news. That is next here on the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Something's in the water.
Dude, it's in your mouth.
I can't see it, but I feel it.
This summer, from the people who brought you floss and fluoride, gum disease, the silent bite.
Ah! Why didn't anyone warn me?
We did. At Scott Family Dental, you may not see the problem, but we can. No insurance contracts and a team that treats you like family.
So no jaws, just gentle cleanings?
Exactly. But skip your checkup and you might need a bigger toothbrush.
Scott Family Dental. Catch the problems before they bite. Book now at scottfamdental.com.
Do you see yourself traveling, working part-time, or moving somewhere warmer when you retire? I'm Kevin Spencer, your Midland Edward Jones financial advisor, and I want to help make your retirement goals a reality. Let's talk about where you are, where you want to be, and how you'll get there. Together, we can plan for the expected and make sure you're ready for the unexpected.
Search Edward Jones Financial Advisor Kevin Spencer on Facebook. 416 West Wackerly in Midland, under the green awning. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Loons ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
It's your last chance to get to Dow Diamond. The Great Lakes Loons host the West Michigan Whitecaps to close out the 2025 regular season, August 26th through 31st.
It is good!
And the Loons are looking to secure a playoff spot and push for their second Midwest League championship. Tickets start at just $12 at loons.com. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. Celebrate the 75th anniversary of a Peanuts Christmas with the Great Lakes Loons on Friday, August 29th. Relive the heartwarming classic in a festive atmosphere filled with nostalgia and holiday cheer. The team will also wear Peanuts-inspired jerseys that fans can bid on during a live online auction. For tickets, head to loons.com. This isn't just baseball. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think the Detroit Lions are going to be worse this season, but still go 12-5 and win the NFC North. I think the Minnesota Vikings are the biggest threat to steal the NFC North from the Detroit Lions. I think we got to taper back our expectations for Bryce Underwood, with him being an 18-year-old freshman and all. I think the lack of aggression from Scott Harris at the MLB trade deadline is going to haunt the Tigers for years to come. And I think you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show weekdays from 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Michigan. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
$11:30, you know what that means. Got to see what's going on in the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Kyle, if you don't lead off with
what?
With some golf, I might be disappointed.
You got golf news for me?
We got our team.
Oh, Keegan Bradley's announced the Ryder Cup team.
We got
players.
the teams.
Wow, I need to refresh my Twitter.
You want me to
right now?
Want me to run through it?
Yeah, do it.
Scotty Scheffler left off. No, I'm just kidding. Scotty Scheffler, JJ Spawn, Xander Schauffele, Henley, English, DeChambeau.
Right, all the automatic qualifiers that we already knew were on the team.
I'm just running through them.
Yep.
Thomas. Justin Thomas.
Yes. See if you can get the first names of any of these guys. Colin Morikawa.
Morikawa, yeah, you're going to have to take over. I'm just now getting it. This is my first year in golf. Just to be clear, first year golf fan. Not a diehard. Not claiming to be a diehard. Becoming more of a diehard.
Right, I think that's fine. Ben Griffin, Cam Young, Patrick Cantlay, and Sam Burns. Those are the players that make the team. So Keegan Bradley himself did not pick himself to play. There was a lot of rumors about that. He was ranked 11th in the world, so he would technically be a top 12 player and on the tour.
How did he get this job as the captain?
They just select a captain every time.
Who's they?
I don't know, man. There's got to be a way to do it.
Like it's different every year.
Yeah, well, every time the Ryder Cup is around, yeah.
Which is every 2?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm searching it right now because that's something that I'm kind of informed on the Ryder Cup. Ryder Cup captains are selected by committees of the relevant golf associations.
Oh.
Yes. The PGA of America selects the U.S. captain while the European Tours Committee and stakeholders choose the European captain. A little bit like a shade thrown by Rory McIlroy this weekend, by the way, that said...
oh, boo-hoo. He's
they
just
asked
mad
him,
he's no longer number one.
Because Rory, I think, is going to be the captain for the next Ryder Cup, it sounds like. At least there's speculation about it. And they asked him, are you gonna pick yourself to be on the team? He's like, why would I do? No, of course not. Why would I do that?
Why would he not?
He's like, no one would ever. Why would I pick myself? That's selfish to do, picking yourself.
What?
So it's almost like Keegan Bradley kind of maybe falling into the pressure from Rory there a little bit. Mind games being played by Rory.
And then Rory should pick himself next year. I mean, he's the best European golfer. Why would he not pick himself?
Right. I mean, that's what I'm saying. He might just be playing mind games here.
That's genius. Yeah, I mean, you got to do something, a little gamesmanship, when you've been getting owned by Mr. Scheffler.
Right, but the Europeans have not been getting owned in general, though, as far as the history of
take
the Ryder
me through
Cup
some
goes.
of it. This is my first time, really invested.
I'm pretty sure 3 of the last 11 have been won by the Europeans.
Wow.
2023 was won by the Europeans. 2021 was a landslide won by the Americans. 2018 won by the Europeans. 2016 the Americans. So they've gone back and forth the last 4 years. Prior to that, it was a 3-win streak, 3 in a row run won by the Europeans.
Do they go back and forth on where this is played as well?
Yes. They go back and forth between America and Europe.
Where is this one?
America. I don't know where at, though, honestly. It is in the U.S., though.
I think it's in the Midland Country Club.
Right. No, it's in Farmingdale, New York at Bethpage Black Course.
Oh, I was close.
So
that was my next
close
guess.
enough. Yeah, this is exciting, man. I'm excited to see the European team as well. Hopefully that's probably out as well, I would assume. But
I can't find it.
Here we go, man. This is going to be a really fun squad. I'm glad that Bryson got on there. There was speculation about him with his live golf situation, whether or not he would get on. Super excited that he did. I'm excited to see the pairings for how those are going to work as well, because this is some of the most entertaining golf of the year. Probably more entertaining than any of the majors are. Just because
no way.
Just the duos aspect makes it so fun. That's the part that I love about it. So
I don't know if anything can top this year's Masters.
Well, I mean, probably nothing tops the Masters in general, but just it's like the Olympics, right? There's just a different edge to it when you're playing for your country. There's something different about it. It's like watching FIBA basketball, you know?
Well, I'm excited.
Me too. All right, let's get back to some other news here. Today at 5 p.m. is the deadline for some big-time news for sports fans out there that also happen to be YouTube TV viewers.
Oh.
Because at 5 o'clock today, if Fox and YouTube TV don't come to an agreement on a new deal, then Fox will not be on YouTube TV for, I don't know, the foreseeable future, which is quite tragic because obviously that's how you watch the Lions games on Sundays if you don't have a cable provider. And if they're, most of the time they're on Fox, but they're on a couple different stations this year.
Well, how about this? Michigan State plays on Friday.
Right.
CMU plays on Friday.
FS1, both of them on Fox Sports 1. All of the Big Ten Network, which is affiliated with Fox, you will not be able to watch that. It is just very tragic if this ends up happening the way it does.
Do you think they come to an agreement?
I sure hope so.
Refresh me on what happened with ESPN last year. It was
I don't remember how that went
blackout,
down,
and then
but
it was 3 days where it wasn't
was a
on.
couple days where all of a sudden ESPN wasn't with YouTube TV anymore, and then they figured it out. Hopefully that they can figure this out too, because pretty important date, Friday night. How are you going to watch MSU? Unless you have DirecTV or Spectrum or something. So, but also Fox is going through the same thing as ESPN. They started their own little streaming service, so they probably want people to move to that rather than watching traditional TV through YouTube TV. So we'll keep everyone updated as far as getting an update on that. We got some Shedeur Sanders news, Ben. You ready for this?
Yes.
Shedeur Sanders has made the Browns roster, but it comes with a caveat. He's not going to be the backup to Joe Flacco. Dillon Gabriel has been named the quarterback 2 of the Browns. Boy, I don't think there's ever been a third-string quarterback talked about as enough as Shedeur Sanders, but him getting 2 or 3 instead of 2, kind of crazy with Dillon Gabriel.
Do you think he plays a game this year?
Shedeur?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he plays in a game this year. Does
I
he
do
start
too.
a game? I don't know.
I think the answer is yes to both.
He gets in a game.
I think the media bullies the Browns into doing it.
You're probably right, yeah. Especially if, Gabriel comes out and just is trash.
Which is very possible.
I would think so, too.
He's just so little.
Yes, he is just so little. Back to some baseball news. Rangers starting pitcher Nathan Eovaldi, who's having another tremendous year in the race for Cy Young, has a rotator cuff strain and likely done for the season in 2025. Tough news there for Nathan Eovaldi, who, like I said, is having a really good year. The Rangers are trying to get their name back into the wild card push in the American League, currently on the outside looking in, and going to be tough to do so with probably the best pitching duo in the league this year in Jacob deGrom and Nathan Eovaldi. One of them, obviously, no longer a part of that duo.
Yeah, tough for the Rangers. They're probably done if they're without him the rest of the year, right? There's no way they're coming back.
Yeah, and right now we might as well give an MLB standings update while we're talking about it. The Rangers are 67-67 at the moment, which is 4.5 games out of a wild card race. Red Sox, Yankees, Mariners have had it on lock in the American League for quite some time. The Kansas City Royals are actually the first team out, 3 games back at 68-65, then followed by the Rangers. So yeah, I would think that unless something drastic happens to one of Seattle, New York, or Boston, which at this point it seems unlikely, those are going to be your wild card teams. As far as in the National League, same situation. There really isn't going to be a tight race down to the wire at the moment. We still have a month of baseball, but Cubs, Padres, Mets have those 3 spots really locked up, especially the Cubs and Padres, with the Reds 3.5 games out of the Mets from that final wild card spot.
All right.
Tough there. All right, we'll close things out here with the news. I don't have a ton of other news today. I figured I'd give an update on the awards favorites in the MLB.
Okay.
Why not? Because a big race going on between Cal Raleigh and Aaron Judge. Talked about how after Raleigh set the record for catcher homers, was still not the favorite. But once he eclipsed 50, they were like, you know what? He's the favorite again. Cal Raleigh minus 125 to win the American League MVP with Aaron Judge right behind him at plus 100. National League MVP. Any guesses at our boy Shohei Ohtani's odds to win, Ben?
Minus 3,000.
Minus 10,000 for Shohei to win the award. Definitely locked up
Would that
there.
be his 4th or 5th? Or 4th?
It would be his 4th, I believe. Yes, 2 in the American League. Got the one last year without even pitching, and will win the one this year. I think 4. As far as the Cy Young Awards go, any guesses on our boy Paul Skeens to win the NL Cy Young?
Minus 1,000.
Minus 10,000, just like Shohei Ohtani. He's got that locked up. He might not even win double-digit games this season, and yet will take home the Cy Young. I'd have to do some research on how many guys that have done that because, he definitely deserves it. His ERA is nuts. His strikeouts are insane.
Unless he's playing the Brewers.
Right. Of course, unless anyone's playing the Brewers, of course. Shout out to Christopher Sanchez, though, who's having a really good year. He's second at plus 1,400. American League Cy Young, Tarek Skubal has retaken the lead as the favorite. Just barely, though, just like the MVP award. He is minus 125 with Garrett Crochet right behind him at plus 100.
There you go.
There it is.
989-837-6125. We've got two traditions to close out the Ben Bosscher Show. The first of those is our lock of the day. The second of those is guessing what happens on our air at noon. That is coming up next on the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandel.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland. All right, so with week 1 of college football this weekend, we're going to continue to talk about Michigan and Michigan State, but I want to dive into a little bit of Sharon Moore discussion today. Had his opening press conference ahead of their week 1 matchup with New Mexico yesterday. We talked about all this pressure on Bryce Underwood and how he is the most intriguing player probably in the Big Ten this season, just as far as what are we going to get from this guy because we haven't seen him play yet and all the hype that comes with Bryce Underwood. It makes you think that is that same type of pressure on Sharon Moore. Anytime that you follow up a national championship with a quote-unquote down year a season ago, I know you beat Ohio State, but still, you should be expected to jump right back up into that national championship contention the following year, especially for a program and a university like Michigan that has high expectations. So when you ask the question of who's under more pressure this year, Bryce Underwood or Sharon Moore, immediately you think Bryce Underwood because of the pay tag, everything they did to get him this offseason. But at the end of the day, Bryce Underwood's just going to be back next year as a sophomore and the following year as a junior and improve each offseason. If things don't go extremely well this season, what's the big deal? Michigan will just probably be better in the following years. Whereas for Sharon Moore, that would be back-to-back seasons, his first 2 years as head coach following the national championship under Jim Harbaugh of disappointing years. I think Sharon Moore might be under more pressure than Bryce Underwood in 2025. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau agent, located downtown Midland.
It's the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Scarlett Mason from Standish Sterling High School. With a 4.3 GPA, Scarlett's a member of the track and field team and a state champion in swimming. Scarlett, a member of the National Honor Society, and PALS, a student support group.
We get qualified, and then we are someone that if a student is uncomfortable talking to an adult, they can come talk to us about what's going on at home or whatever they're struggling with. The biggest thing was it raised mental health awareness, and I think that's huge in high school.
Scarlett will be attending and swimming at Wayne State in the fall. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
Detours driving you bunkers? Ideal Party Store's got your back with the Detour discount. While the Lafayette Bridge is closed, enjoy 10% off select craft beer 6-packs and 10% off 4 bottles of select wine, 750 milliliters or more, with 2 great locations, 908 North Johnson on the east side and 401 Salzburg on the west side. Ideal Party Store makes every detour worth it. Serving Bay City since 1934, we're here to make you the life of the party.
Get in the game. The Gamers Game with the Great Lakes Loons on Saturday, August 30th. Presented by the Field of Frames Festival in Dow. The Gamers Game is where esports and baseball collide. Plus, don't miss the final fireworks loontacular of the season after the game, thanks to Farm Bureau Insurance. And the first 1,000 fans receive a Loons hat, courtesy of Fidelity Investments. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
Every Wednesday on 100.9 The Mitt on the Ben Bosscher Show, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
For the next 3 weeks, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, we are going to be sending someone to the Michigan State Spartans games for their matchups against Western Michigan, Boston College, and Youngstown State. All you have to do is be listening to the show at 10:15 and listen for that keyword to text in. Big Win Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan. From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
Let's pick out a good wine. Let's discover a new taste from a new place. Let's meet the people who handpick the grapes in places dedicated to the craft, in a land that only knows one way to grow things, rich and full. Welcome to Michigan, where the 4 seasons and 4 Great Lakes smile on the winemaker, where the quality of the wine is exceeded only by the warmth of the greeting waiting for us. And with more than 90 wineries, covering more than 13,000 acres, the harvest has never been better. So let's wander through lush vineyards, discover hidden treasures in vast cellars, and renew ourselves in comfortable tasting rooms. Let's all raise a glass. Let's gather our closest friends and become even closer. Because taking time to toast the beauty and bounty of life is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Two traditions, one show. 8 minutes left, something like that. It is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right, Kyle. Well, Miami didn't win yesterday, to say the least. They got blown
No, they
out.
lost pretty bad.
Yeah, no, they did.
Yeah, lost pretty bad.
Yeah. For some reason, I've got a soft spot for Sandy Alcantara.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure why, because he has a soft spot for putting the ball down the heart of the plate when he pitches.
Fair enough.
Okay, let me give an update to everyone on the lock of the day, because I know they're all dying to know the statistics here. Ben, you're creeping back into that territory of all-time lowest.
I know.
And it feels weird, though, that you are, because
really
you felt
solid
like you
2
were
weeks.
gaining some momentum. You've now lost 4 days in a row. You're 18.74 units down all-time, which is about half a unit shy of your all-time low at 19.1 units all-time. Obviously, 0-2 on the week, 1839-1 overall. And after getting so close to being even in the month of August, you are now 4.74 units down in August.
Yep.
This is a crucial day for you.
Just waiting for football season. That's all I got to say.
Well, you have like 2 more. You have 2 more days of. Actually, you could bet on football Thursday, right? Isn't there a football?
There is
Thursday
a game
night?
on Thursday.
So today could be the last day of consistently not having to bet on football.
Yeah. Today I'm going to take the Nerfy in the Tigers game.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. Guy on the mound for the A's has only pitched in 4 games this year. Actually, has had his ERA down like pretty significantly, under 2, I believe. So we're going to bank on him to continue being good for the A's. We've got Casey Mize on the mound for the Tigers. I have no doubt he's going to put somebody on, but I just need them to get through it. Plus odds when you see it on the Nerfy, you got to just blindly take it, in my opinion. So I will take
last time,
the
yeah.
Nerfy into the Tigers game. Taylor fade.
So I've noticed this week, I just, like, for some reason, have not Taylor faded either pick. I guess I've just, like, skipped past it every time. So I will tail this because it's probably not going to work out in my favor. I'll tail it, though, because the last time that this happened and it was plus odds, I didn't tail it because why is the Nerfy plus odds? That means it's just going to hit, right? And it worked out in your favor, so I'll assume that's going to happen again. I trust Casey Mize. If the Tigers score, then can't be that mad about it because the Tigers scored in the first inning. But Nerfy didn't hit yesterday. That's good odds, and it means it hits today. That's always how that seems to work out. So, sure, I'll tail.
No runs in the Tigers game today. It's another 10
In the
o'clock
first
start, unfortunately. Yeah. I don't know if I can make it through the full game again today. That was tough. But we'll see. Maybe. Possible. You don't know yet.
Tigers another day off, though, on Thursday, which is nice. Much needed for them, obviously.
Yeah. And then where are they after this? Back in Kansas City, right?
They go back to Kansas City. Well, they go to Kansas City this time, yeah.
Okay. That is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right. Our other tradition is predicting what the one and only Colin Cowherd opens with this week or at noon because he takes over 100.9 The Mitt at noon. Is he going to be doing a show today? My guess is no.
I would guess no because why would he if he wasn't there Monday, Tuesday?
Yeah. Just enjoying those last days of the summer before football season starts.
Taking the final week off.
Probably J-Mac again today. But either way, the goal's the same. Predict what they open up with.
Didn't get yesterday. Thought he would go double Shadur Sanders after the trade of Kenny Pickett because that's what it was led with on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it was like a Jalen Hurts lead. Like, everyone's disrespecting Jalen Hurts. Okay?
Sure.
That was the lead. Okay. So that's why neither of us got a point. It's still 12-9. Ben holds on to the lead. I'm searching for double digits, and Ben, you go first.
Tough one today. I think.
I know what it is.
Are you gonna go with Kelsey?
I don't know.
Is it my turn? Yeah. I think I'm going Chiefs. Rashee Rice, 6-game suspension to open up the season.
I don't think you can do this.
Why?
I think you got to pick a specific part of the Chiefs because I also want to pick the Chiefs and I want to pick something completely different.
What if I want to do the Chiefs are a circus? Because I saw yesterday that J-Mac didn't even pick the Chiefs as like his first 2 Super Bowl contending tiers. He had like 4 tiers and the Chiefs were in the 3rd. And I think he's going to just completely fade on the Chiefs being like, Kelsey's not locked in. He's getting married. He's got other side quests going on. Rashee Rice is out for the first 6 games, and he's basically going to do this whole thing.
I mean,
like,
you're
the Chiefs
taking
won't be as
two
good.
for one here.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm taking the Chiefs aren't
that seems
good.
wrong.
What do you want me to say?
Like, pick one or the other.
What if it's both? And what, we just both get a point? I want zagging the Chiefs, thinking the Chiefs aren't going to be as good is my pick.
Okay.
That's my specific.
That's fine. I was going to go Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce.
You can still do that.
I can, but then we're both going to get a point.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think you can. I don't think
and that's
you can.
you're just like taking 2 picks here for the price of 1.
Good day to have the first pick.
I guess we just make up the rules as we go, right?
That's kind of what this show is, right?
Fine. I guess I'll take all of football as my pick. If he talks about the NFL, that's my selection.
That seems slightly less specific. No, I think he's going to like fade the Chiefs. I think he's just going to like take all of it and be like, and that's why the Chiefs are going to have 5 wins this year. That's an exaggeration, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, we did get the breaking Rashee Rice news during our break that it's not set in stone, but the NFL wants to suspend him for 6 games.
Guess who the Lions play week 6?
Oh, this is all prior to his court hearing that comes after week 4. So the rumor on the street was that he would not get traded or at least suspended until after that week, but the NFL is getting out ahead of it before this trial even goes down. So
Lions play the Chiefs week 6. Low key, is this like he's going to drastically fall down everyone's fantasy draft board? So take him. Like if he's there as a bench piece and you fill out all your starters.
It's just like taking a guy that you have to wait that long to play.
Well, he'll be healthy for the playoffs. That's kind of the mindset.
Well, yeah, of course.
Or not healthy, but available.
I liked the idea more of him playing the first 4 because then that allows you to like draft a couple rookies, so you don't have to miss out on you can develop the rookies at the end of your bench. Rashee Rice is in the lineup for the first 4. Come week 5 or 6, the rookies are into the flow a little bit, and now they're willing to get played. So now with this, it's a little bit like
But he's going to fall even further down everyone's big board.
Right.
If you can get him for cheap. I don't know. Anyway, what do you think?
I kind of want to take this Tom Brady stuff. There's a little bit of Tom Brady buzz going on right now about
there is
the NFL is relaxing some of its restrictions surrounding Tom Brady and his role as a Fox broadcaster, because of him obviously being a partial owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. They're saying they're allowing him to attend production meetings this season, as well as other things. Okay, it's kind of interesting.
They're allowing him to do that, or
they're allowing
up?
him to. Yeah, they're being more lenient because apparently last year they were super strict about him because he's obviously an owner.
I'm gonna say be careful here because Fox affiliate. I don't know if J-Mac would have the balls to do it.
No, I'm not gonna pick that. It was just I just saw that and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I don't think he would leave with Ryder Cup stuff. Like, no shot.
No.
Unless there was something juicy, like if Bryson didn't make the team or something. So I will instead go with Shedeur Sanders. Why not? Dylan Gabriel's ranked as the second-ranked quarterback on the Browns. That's a diss to Shedeur. So that's what I'll pick. It's boring. You cheated. I'm mad. See you later.
Okay. I don't know what to say. I just think it's a Chiefs zag. And we've been waiting for all these Chiefs open. We haven't had any in like 60 days. So I think today's the day that they open up the herd with a lot of Chiefs conversations. That's all. 989-837-6125. Save the number in your phone. Next Wednesday, we'll give away more Michigan State tickets for their second game of the season. We're going to do this exact same thing in their third game as well. For first 3 weeks, the next 2 Wednesdays, we're giving away Michigan State tickets, a set of 4 of them. So should be a lot of fun here coming up. We've got some real football coming up later this week that I'm really excited for. If you haven't hit the like and subscribe button on the YouTube page yet, you're missing out. Go hit the like button. Go hit the subscribe button. Give us the follow on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook if you enjoyed today's show. Appreciate everyone for sticking around. Appreciate anyone who jumped into YouTube or listening in their cars at any point throughout today. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m.